Gun toting, Bible reading, God believing, truth speaking, American. This MAGA season, Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. It's for free thinkers only. You ain't got no membership. They free. General Flynn out the cage, cause he innocent. Barton Roger Stone, cause the run know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell Jussie Smollett that I know this MAGA country. Tell China we know they tryna play us like some dummies. I looked deep into it and I did the math. Why did Obama send money to that Wuhan lab? What is George Soros doing with all of his cash? Why did China take that Harvard guy and drop him a bag? Why is there so much propaganda? Funny you ask. How about that Bill Gates vaccine? Now, sorry I'll pass, cause I'm a gun-toting patriot. God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting patriot. God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it.
You may not know my voice, but you've surely seen my handiwork. I am Betsy Ross, an upholsterer, a widow, a patriot, and, as the story goes, the woman who stitched the first American flag. I fought in our revolution, not with muskets and powder, but with needle and thread. In those early days, even a single star sewn in defiance of a crown was an act of rebellion. I lost a husband to this war, killed a militia explosion. I lost business, sleep, and security, but I never lost heart. As I recall it, when George Washington came to my shop with a sketch and a vision, I offered more than a design. He showed me a flag with 6 pointed stars, but I told him 5 would be quicker to cut and just as fine. He agreed. 13 stars, 13 stripes, one united cause. It was just cloth, but it carried courage. It flew over camps, over homes, over battles, stitched not only with thread, but with hope. I was not alone. Women across the colonies spun linen, mended uniforms, melted pewter into bullets, and sent sons to war. It wasn't only men who built this country. It was mothers, wives, daughters, seamstresses. So, no, I didn't sign the Declaration, but I left my mark in every wave of that flag. Some think I was spinning a yarn about my involvement with the flag, but my story speaks to something far more important. Back then, flags were more utilitarian than symbolic. And what a mighty symbol it's become. Let it remind you that even the smallest stitch can hold together the greatest cause.
Everybody thinks their ideas are right. That's why the people you call terrorists call themselves freedom fighters. The fundamentalists think they're right, the capitalists think they're right, the communists think they're right. And no one will ever convince anyone of anything. And all these honorable men lecturing the world from the floors of congresses and parliaments whose time has long since passed refuse to admit, publicly at least, ideas don't determine who's right. Power determines who's right. And I have the power, so I'm right.
Nice.
How do you like that clip, Beau?
It's nice. It's really interesting, especially because when you think about the gaming market, they have targeted the gaming market, the woke,
Yeah.
and they've also targeted anime over like
Yeah.
the last 5 years really hard
Yep.
because they want to because that's creativity, and communism, they don't like creativity, and so they want to destroy it wherever they can. It's pretty
True,
interesting.
true.
How do
Yeah.
you view that?
I find these cool things on Twitter like that, and I love it because I love to incorporate it. But to me, it feels like, well, not so much secret messaging, but it's like they're telling the truth out loud. And me, we talk about that all the time, especially with Jimmy, that the movies tell us things. There's signs and symbols everywhere. You just have to have an eye for it, right?
Yeah.
So that when I saw that, especially in a game, and like you said, it's the market, right? So who's playing those games? And they want to target that generation. And they're telling the truth, right?
You know what's interesting? Like when you're saying that though, like think about
Yeah,
this though. Somebody made that game, right? And you would
right.
think that's just some IT guys, like, some random, Joe Blows, but yet they
Yeah.
were predicting the future. Was it an accident or were they told to do it? That's the real question.
Okay, good point. But on top of that, I feel like it's just the truth because everybody knows the truth, but nobody actually wants to say it. And when you do say it, you get criticized for it. So it's like they're inserting it in a nicer way, like
Yeah.
the soft, like it's soft because you're having fun, you're playing a game, you might not realize, but it's there. That's the truth. And I like that. I like when they insert truth like that. So I mean, for me, I like it. So I just wanted to share it with you
No,
guys.
no, it's really good. And it's really interesting because like if you think about like what you just said, you're pointing out that
Mhm.
they're showing you truth, right?
Right.
Who did they target? Like when the Biden administration was in, they went straight for the gaming industry and they went for anime.
And they destroyed it.
Yeah.
Okay, destroyed it, and especially with the whole Disney stuff, all those stupid movies with gay stuff. And it's like,
Oh
who's
yeah.
watching that? Kids are watching that. So that's what gets me upset. But anyways, we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight, and I just want to say a quick hello to everybody in the chat. Oh yeah, and side note, I'm only streaming from my channel. So quick announcement. So since Jimmy's not here tonight, I'm just streaming from my channel. I don't want to stream on his if he's not here. So Jimmy, if you're watching, you're not gonna have this episode on your channel. So everybody's gonna have to come to my channel to see this. And Beau is Jimmy for tonight. So Beau is gonna have the floor for some time. But if anybody else wants to join early, have some fun. Don't, just come on. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to wait for a certain time or anything like that. Just hop on and have some fun. Okay. Hi everybody. Okay, quick hello to everybody in the chat.
Hey guys.
Yes, so Dallas is here.
Justin.
Yeah, Justin, Clooney. Who else is here? Let's see. John Marciano, JG, Mick says I'm back. Hello, everyone. Michelle Price, Jerica. Hi, Jerica. Okay, so I think that's everybody so far. Oh, Joseph. Hi, Joseph. Beverly. Okay, good. Everybody's here early. Okay, so did you want to do some news or do you want to go straight into the email like that from what we spoke about last week?
Whatever you want is fine with me. I mean, if I guess if I would, it doesn't really matter to me honestly. But what do you think? I mean, what would you like to do? I mean, what do you guys normally do?
We always like do the news just in case. So if you know of any news and if you're in the chat, guys, let me know if anything big happened today.
Okay.
Like, was there anything newsworthy
How about I read off the list? I have a list of news events.
Oh,
And then I have some that are on screen events because Jimmy asked me to do that. How about I do that? And then Ruby, if anything you want, you just stop me and then ask me if you want me to clarify it.
Okay, go ahead.
So first, I'll start off. My first thing is you guys asked about the Clinton food stamp plan, and I didn't know anything about it. So I did research it. And so what ended up happening is Clinton was running on the border being, protected, and that illegals were not going to get food stamps, and that these are American items, right? So what ends up happening as soon as Clinton gets in, well, he flips, and then he starts giving. He's the one who started the giving food stamps to illegal immigrants.
Okay.
So that was what they were leading. I thought that was pretty interesting because the way I was explained that he did this is he was running kind of in the neutral territory, and as soon as he got in, then he was starting to do so. This agenda is so far back that it's going to Clinton's administration. That's how, I mean, when you think about these guys, when they plan this stuff, this isn't like a 5-year, 10-year. They're planning 20, 30 years in advance.
Yeah, and you know, I had no clue about that at all, so I'm glad you brought that up because Clinton, he was president before I was born, right? Like this is 90s.
Yeah, I was actually in junior high, and I actually got a letter from President Clinton from a school
No
project.
way.
Yeah, I don't have
What?
it. I wish I would have kept it, but
How could you not keep that?
Because my parents are a certain religion that doesn't allow that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that is so cool though. Okay, go ahead.
Little goofy fact, right? And I don't even remember what it said either. I just know it was for like a school project.
That sucks, but that's so cool though. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So next is so I have a buddy named David, and I want to give a shout out to him. He went through and watched a lot of the videos that are going on with like Nick. So the Nick Fuentes, which is everywhere right now. And I just want to be honest with you guys. I barely even knew who that guy was until people started telling me about him and asking me questions about him all the time. And then I started watching stuff about him, and I was like, okay, my opinion about this guy is there's some really weird stuff that he has said, and I'll kind of talk about it. So Nick Fuentes, he made this statement that when he was 30 years old, and he made this statement on air, like on his personal channel, that he wants to have sex with a 16-year-old girl. And he wants his bride to be 16.
Oh my God. And you found that clip?
Oh, well, I believe I sent it to you. Like it was in the links that were in the emails that I sent you.
Okay, let me see. I got like a video from Tucker and Nick Fuentes, the interview. Okay, I don't think there's a specific clip here that you inserted.
Well, I have it in my notes. I'm not sure what happened.
You did send me a link. You sent me is it from Twitter?
Maybe it is.
Okay, I think I found it. Do you want me to play it?
Are we gonna get in trouble for it? I'm saying that.
we're gonna get in trouble for him saying that? Are you crazy?
Well, I mean, YouTube. Are they gonna get you for that? Yeah, I mean, if you can, I would like for people to see it so they don't.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty important because he's like, it'll lead to the next thing that I have.
Okay, so this is it. You sent me this post. Okay. Nick Fuentes says that once he turns 30, he'll probably find himself a 16-year-old child bride.
This is it.
Okay, let's play it. Let's just see what he says.
Remember, this is our new hero.
I want to drink.
No. But okay, hold on.
Okay.
Is it just the clip? Okay, this is just so low. Oh my God, come on.
No, bitch. I want to drink it straight from the tap. I want it raw. I don't want to wait a moment. Right when the milk is good, I want to start drinking the milk. Same thing goes with women. I don't want to turn 30 and find some 20-year-old, 29-year-old woman that I have something in common with. And it's like, hey, properly aged like wine. Women don't age like wine. They age like milk. They don't age like wine.
Oh my God.
That's not how their hormones work. That's not how they work. Yeah, I gotta find my 16-year-old wife. Probably when I turn 30 or something. Because here's the thing, I don't want to be like.
Oh my God.
Let's say I get married to the 18-year-old now.
Okay, I think we can stop. I think they got the idea, right, dude? Okay, now think about this. This isn't the only kind of like statement that this guy has made, because I didn't really know him very well, and then so other statements he's made is he said that black women are like dogs, and he said that if interracial relationships with black women is disgusting and revolting. Was another statement.
I did hear about that one, and I think he did mention that in a recent interview about the circumstance around that, the context around that. But you see, I get that, right? I understand if the outrage. I understand how outlandish that would be. It can. I think that Nick is in his own lane. Like he's far out there. You know what I'm saying? Like not even I would say something crazy like that. And I've said things that are considered, like maybe unpopular or offensive or whatever, right? But Nick just takes the cake. But that's how that's how he, I guess you could say, became followed. You know what I'm saying? Like he blew up, like you said, like you didn't even know about this guy, but then when you saw it, it's like he's everywhere. And it's because he says stupid stuff like that. And that's what gets people that's what gets people's attention.
Yeah, he's in a shock. He likes to shock you.
Exactly. So that's that's the vibe I'm getting. But I don't condone that. Like I don't approve of that at all. I look at that guy from the political view. I don't look at him for the stupid stuff that he says. But I totally understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna defend that. But okay, go ahead, Beau.
So what I thought was unique about that. So another thing that he's another statement is he says that the most dangerous thing to Christian culture is not Muslims but Jews. So I know that he hates Jews like with a passion. Like I've got that much from him, which I'm like, I mean, you have your opinion about certain demographics and just getting money over to Israel and stuff like that, but then just the plain out hatred of Jews itself is kind of like way off base for me. The other thing I thought was really weird is, okay, so after seeing this guy say all this crazy crap, when he was on Tucker's interview, Tucker did not point any of this out, say any of this, but then Tucker previously before the interview talked about this is like one of the biggest anti-Semites out there, but yet he gave no challenge to this guy whatsoever. And then when he was interviewed by the PBD podcast, PBD was like asking him like why did you say these things? Do you really mean these things?
That's the interview. Yes, I saw that one, and he did bring that up. And you see, Nick had the opportunity to talk about that comment about the bestiality or whatever. But I mean, there's one thing that I would slightly disagree. I don't think that he hates Jews, because you see that already is problematic, because everybody starts saying that whenever they start disagreeing with someone. And I understand there is a difference, but I don't get that vibe from Nick. I do think that he's exposing, like the exposure is out there, because Candace always is doing the exact same thing, and they say the same thing about Candace. But then when she did an interview with him, she grilled him about some Jewish friend or colleague or whatever, and he responded, and I think his response was a really good one. You know what I'm saying?
What was the response?
He said like it's not about that specific person or whatever. It was about that guy was Jewish and his connections, which is what we all talk about.
Yeah.
And she was saying, oh, but that's his ethnicity or whatever. Like she was trying to do that, what they usually do, and he was detangling that from one another, and then reiterating that it's not a personal hatred towards a specific group of people just because of their race or religion or whatever. He's talking about their political hold on us, which is what we talk about here as well, because that comes up all the time. So I would recommend you watch the interview that Candace did with him, because she really digs into him.
I'll have to go do that. There was something else about him that I thought was kind of weird. Like, and I mean, it's not really weird, but it's just something that when I was looking at him, like when I look at him, not knowing who he is and the kind of person he was,
right?
If I just look at him, he looks like a not a straight man to me. Like he looks like he'd be kind of a woke person, is what he looks like to me. Not the way he talks. Did you know that he's also a virgin?
I assumed as much because he's not married and he's Catholic and he's like super religious. So I would assume that. I don't know if that's a fact or not, but that rumor about him too, from the very beginning, that rumor has been a thing, that he was not straight or whatever.
Okay.
And I remember that whole scandal happening in real time. Like I remember that back in like 2019, 2020. Okay. I remember all of that.
Yeah, I mean, this has no basis. It's just something that when I looked at him, that's what I would have thought. Like if you gave me this photo of this guy, I would have thought he was a liberal, to be honest with you.
Exactly. And I would have thought that.
But
sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I would have believed that too, just by looking at him and reading the rumors and those articles that they were saying. Because the reason why I started getting interest was because they were calling him a white supremacist, and I used to believe that. So that was like the second scandal. Oh, he's a white
Well, I
supremacist, a
could
white
see that Ben
nationalist.
saying that though by his remarks about black people being like dogs and stuff. Like that's kind of like I know he does that for the shock treatment, but that's what makes me almost wonder if he's artificial because it's so extremes. Like he's like super racist, but then when he's on mainstream media, like I mean, I guess Tucker's not really technically mainstream media, but
But he's
he's
big,
one of the
yeah.
largest platforms on the planet.
Right, right.
Then all of a sudden we're given this like PG version of him, which
Mm-hmm,
for me, I don't know the guy. If I saw Tucker's interview and I don't know him, I'm getting a completely different vibe from him. Like, oh, he's not that bad. Oh, he's being persecuted. Oh, I can't believe Ben Shapiro did that. You know, all that stuff. That's another thing that leads into the stuff is about the Ben Shapiro stuff is there. I have it in here as like one of the news blasts that talks
mm-hmm,
about a company that went after him and tried to deplatform him.
mm-hmm. Yep.
And then he said that Ben did this, but
Mm-hmm.
Ben is part of that, like openly supports that group. But Ben came out and openly said that he doesn't want him deplatformed and said he wants people to listen to him because he is so outrageous. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, yeah, there's a lot of like weird dynamics with this. It's really
Mm-hmm.
confusing to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious because you've seen some of his stuff and you know him
Mm-hmm.
better than I do. What do
Mm-hmm.
you get? What do you think he is?
Okay, well, before I answer that, let me ask you this. Would
Uh-huh.
you agree that comments made or maybe views from 10 years ago, and in regards to Nick, if he said
Mhm.
something like that 10 years ago and he's saying different things now, do you believe in someone either changing their views or opinions and saying something new now? Does that make them, let's say, repentant or changed views
Mature?
and right, like
Yeah.
he's changed, he's grown. Like, do you think that that's genuine, or do you think that that's him changing his tune in like a malicious way, like misrepresenting himself?
See, since so I don't know him well enough. I haven't seen his stuff to really gauge him that well. I've only seen like obviously he's just all over the media now. But I mean he's young man, and I
Right.
said all kinds of crazy shit when I was younger, and then when you get older, you just kind of grow
Exactly.
up. So I kind of told that to one of my buddies too. I was like, I don't know, maybe he just said this really stupid racist shit when he
Yeah.
was young, and then he
Yeah.
gets older
Right.
and he gets more experience, especially when he's like, got
Yeah.
money, he's got fame and fortune. Now he gets to see the world at a different perspective that maybe it's changed his opinions.
Right. Right.
But
That's what I mean. Like the concept of that. That's
yeah,
what I believe. So I don't believe that he's a fish, artificial or a plant, because
uh-huh.
I do truly believe in maybe people or even myself saying something not even a week or a month ago, and now I feel totally completely different about something, and I change my
Yeah,
opinion about that, and it might sound as if I'm changing my tune or I'm like quote unquote fake or not, but in reality it was a genuine change of heart, of mind, of conscience, of opinion. And so I would at least extend that much, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But if I saw, like, to me, artificial would be people like, I would say, the podcasters that actually have that mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even trust Tucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I look at the connections and like the background and everything. But for Nick, for some reason, it's just a little different for me, because he was blackballed, he was canceled, he was rumored. They wanted to shut him up so badly that's what intrigued me. I'm like, what is he saying that they don't want us to hear? And they only want us to listen to the stupid stuff that he's saying, and that's just noise. But I have the ability to kind of remove that and not
mhm.
care about that too much and focus on the message. So that's just how Nick fell for me. But he did rub me the wrong way the very first time. I won't like lie about that. I don't like him as a person. But
I'm not gonna lie, I don't care for him either. Like to me, I'm like,
Exactly.
you're gonna tell me that because my kids are mixed race, they're an abomination. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself. Oh,
Exactly.
sorry,
So there's yes. I
sorry, I
don't
didn't
like
mean.
him as a
I meant F
person.
yourself.
Yeah, but I do like his politics, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Because I consider myself,
yeah.
I guess, far right.
America first.
Yeah, well, you see, that's the only thing I agree with him. You see, that was the
Yeah,
hook. The hook was America first, and then all this other bull crap comes later. I don't care about that. I mean, he could fight his own battles. That got nothing to do with me.
yeah,
I like the politics of what he's saying, and then he goes. I know that he goes a little further with the race stuff, but I don't care about that stuff.
yeah.
So I keep a distance, but that's why I wanted to ask you to get a fresh pair of eyes and ask your
Yeah,
opinion.
and then I'm glad you guys put him on my radar because he's very interesting. I mean, I'm like I'm listening from Tucker and I'm like, yeah, dude, I like this guy. Why are they canceling him? Dude, it's making sense to me. And then I go and see what he's saying and I'm like,
Exactly.
he's a child molester. He's openly saying he wants to molest children. And I'm like,
Well, I mean that's
whoa,
I
whoa.
mean, yeah, that's a stretch for me. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but what I will
Ruby,
say is
I just
I
gotta throw this out. Do you mind?
yeah,
If I told you that I'm gonna go date a 16-year-old, would you approve of that?
obviously not. But
Yeah.
I don't think he literally meant that he was going to go date a 16-year-old tomorrow, or when he's 30
Well,
that he
no,
would
he's not 30
actually do
yet.
that.
He's what, 26 or something?
Right. I don't believe that in the sense of,
Yeah.
because if he was really going to do that, you think he would say something like that? No, he's just being stupid for his show, for views. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I don't take that seriously.
I
But
thought
I
he was a
get it.
comedian, honestly, at first.
Hmm.
I thought he was a comedian until people were telling me that no, he means this stuff, and I was like, oh, I thought he was just like some smart ass comedian at first.
Right.
But
You gotta. It takes time. It takes time to even understand who he is, how he talks, and that's why I don't watch his show. Like I can't stomach him for more than 30 minutes. So
yeah,
I listen to the clips. I I take away what I like. Those are my takeaways, right?
yeah,
But I'm not a follower of him. I don't consider myself a fan or anything. You know what I'm saying? I keep him. I keep that at a distance because of that stuff. It's just stupid. But yeah,
I
thank
agree.
you for bringing it up.
Okay, so I mean, we talk a lot about him. The only last thing I put was obviously the American Jewish Coalition. That's the thing I was talking about that was trying to actively remove him.
Hmm.
And they I mean they're not even hiding it. They openly said that if you watch him, they're racist and all this stuff. And I heard them say that Ben was part of that, and I just wanted to say I actually thought that too. And then I'd seen that Ben openly said no. He is
Hmm.
part of that coalition, but he did not. So I wanted to put that out there because him and Ben are like the big, they're supposed to be on the same side, but yet they're just like butting
Right,
heads. And
right.
then it's like Tucker's being dragged in the middle of it.
I don't know, man. I don't trust Tucker. I
The
used to.
CIA, man. Can't.
Yeah. It's like I can't. So the both of them could go somewhere because I don't trust them.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Madani, obviously he won. So
Oh
a
my
lot of people
god.
are so one of the things that PBD was talking about is that a lot of big companies that are located there are actually
Hmm.
leaving and going to Florida.
Of course. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
everybody knows
I
what's gonna
mean,
happen.
you know more about this than anyone else because you used to live there. Do you?
Well, okay, that's complicated. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
from New York. I probably sound like I am, but I've spent more of my life in Florida than New York, so I'll put it out there.
Good.
But my heart is there. You know what I'm saying? My childhood is there. I feel like all of that is ripped away. It's destroyed. But you know what? I am actually glad New York deserves it. And they got what they voted for. So when Mandani starts making changes,
Yep.
be happy about it. No, for real, because it's like
Yeah.
this is what that and if you You see, it should have not been a shock, honestly, because when I was there, it was
Mhm.
disgusting. It was like Sodom and Gomorrah. I couldn't even walk down the street with my kids without seeing some dude in a mini skirt or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or a man wearing makeup or something. And they have no problem with it. So you know what? Let them be. That's what they voted for. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really interesting, good, since you have that. So when I think about New York, I think about New York in movies, and then I think about
Hmm.
what New York is now, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't want to visit there. I wouldn't go there. To me, it's just like a cesspool of a bunch of homeless and
Exactly.
gangs, and it's just gone to a crap. It's not even like that's supposed to be one of our golden city. Are you kidding me?
No, no, not
No,
anymore.
our turd
And
city.
yeah, and he said so much about the police that I saw a post on Instagram saying
Yeah.
that even the police are booking it. Like they,
Yep.
because there's no support. It's like how is your own mayor not supporting
And did you know
you?
other states law enforcement are offering to move those officers and take them?
Nice, very good.
Mhm.
Are they gonna give them like a bonus or something?
Well, I don't know how factual it is, but what they were saying is that New York cops have, because it's so crazy in New York, they have such high like
Yeah,
skill levels that
yeah,
lots of departments want them. And
right.
so they're more than willing to, like, there will be no problem them getting jobs. They can just walk away right here, right now, and there are dozens of police stations all around the United States are waiting to take them in. So,
Well, I'm glad for
sorry,
that
New York.
because they'll have a job anywhere, so that's good.
Yeah. All right, and then so the next thing is Prop 50 passed in California. Are you familiar with what that was? The breaking up of the
Um,
districts.
no, oh, you did send me this.
Yeah,
Hold
there's a
on.
photo, and the photo shows like two parts of California, and you'll see the upper part is red, and then the other. Is there any chance we could show that? That way the
Yes,
audience can see that, and then I can talk a little
absolutely.
more about it, and then ask you what your opinion is.
Okay. Okay, so this is oh, hold on, let me put it on the screen. Okay, you see that now?
Yeah. So when you look at the right, that's what it is now, and then on the left is what it was. And so what ended up happening is they removed 5 red districts from Republicans because California was going more red than they were expecting, especially with the
Uh-huh.
mismanagement of the mayor they have and the
Uh-huh.
governors. Everything
Hmm.
they've done. I mean, millions of people have left California, which has never happened before. Their economy is collapsing. Like they're in a terrible state. And so in order to hold power, they did this. And so they redistricted everything, giving them 5 additional. So now it's 48-4 now.
Um, and what does that mean when they do the
So it's the
re?
seats. So they want those
Mhm.
seats. So they're going to have 48 Democrat seats instead of, so it's 5, 6, 7, 8. So there used to be 9 and now it's down to 4. So
And
what
how can they do that?
I don't really know why I mean, they can do it. It's supposed to be based on population.
Okay, so they just redraw lines
Yeah, they
and
redrew
take
the
seats.
lines, but I mean, technically what they were doing wasn't right. And even the previous governor came out and said what he was doing was wrong, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said
Yeah,
that what he was doing was misleading the actual people. And you remember like that gentleman that came on that was from California and he was saying that, all this crazy
right.
stuff that California is doing. California just has a tendency just to do whatever they want. And so, I mean, they did it, and it's obviously legal, but it's kind of like this. You really shouldn't be doing it, but they're doing it
Mhm.
anyways. It's kind of a
Right.
loophole.
Exactly. And Joseph hit it on the nail. He said
Hmm.
it's called gerrymandering,
Yeah.
which that was exactly what I was about to bring up. And then my next question was, is that even legal? Because I'm like, how the heck? Uh, but that doesn't represent California in reality, though. You know what I'm saying? So if it is more red and they're showing it as blue, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
why do that?
I don't. I mean, it is legal, but then I'm hoping that they're gonna do something and then start to fight this. Like,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know what they can actually do, honestly.
Okay, how about this clip? You want me to play this clip you sent me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Map of House districts that will be in place for next year. As you can see, Democrats think they will get 5 additional seats. The Republicans will go their delegation potentially from 9 down to as few as 4, as basically they carve up the state in a way that spreads the Republicans very thin, just off of the coast entirely. That is a remarkable change for California, which has traditionally had some of the closest and most competitive races, particularly since they changed the whole system of redistricting, giving it to a nonpartisan commission. Voters are saying, actually, we'll take it back. We're going to go with Governor Newsom on this, and we're going to take it back for the rest of this decade. The reason why? Look at what's happening across the country, Lindsay. States including Texas, Missouri, Ohio, North Carolina have already carved up their new districts. That's going to give Republicans potentially as many as 8 additional districts. And Mary Bruce, who's with us in the studio right now, even with that win in California, that only takes 5 off the board. It's still advantaged Republicans, but this is a big step and might be the most consequential thing that happens tonight for the midterms in 2028.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's your opinion about that?
So let me ask you, how do you feel about that?
Me, I think it's messed up, honestly.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
they're literally taking people, they're out there, the farmers and stuff, and then stripping their vote away, and then giving it to people who don't vote for them, don't belong there, and they're basically taking the rural people's votes and then giving it to people in the inner cities and saying the inner cities, all the woke queers and fags and all that stuff, now have control over that, which isn't right.
Right.
Like if they did that to in those other states where they've redistricted, it's because so many Republicans and stuff that come in there. This is like the exact opposite. So they're changing it to match the actual demographics. California is changing it to hide the changes in demographics.
Exactly. JG says in the chat, the Dems have to fight fire with fire. The Republicans started the gerrymandering. So you know what? I want to write this down as a piece of homework. Maybe soon we can do a little segment on the history of how that started and how it's legalized and things. I'm very interested in that. So I'm
It's
going to
not
write that
new.
down.
It's been around for a long time. They've been doing this for a long time.
Right, but I mean, like, I want the origin story, like why that started, how it started. So I'm gonna write that down. Yeah, definitely. And hopefully Jimmy gets this, or I'll text Jimmy. I'll tell him, Jimmy, we got homework, even though you're on vacation.
Yeah, you're on
Because
vacation, but we got work for you, buddy.
yeah, because I need to know. And I did play a clip of that guy. What's his name? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot where the name comes from. What's his name? It's his name, right?
I don't know.
Oh, gosh, jeez. Oh, guys.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, where did the term come from? It was actually a guy, and I played his clip. He was one of the signers of the Declaration, I think, or something like that. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, guys. So if anybody remembers in the chat, because I can't remember, let me know.
Put it in the chat so we can.
Okay. Elbridge Jerry. That's his name. Okay. Elbridge Jerry. There you go. Okay, so we'll do a little origin story. That's very interesting. Okay, go ahead, Beau.
All right, and so the next one is one that I think that you're not gonna like. But so there is a new thing for climate change that just came out on Thursday, saying that dogs and cats are the new climate problem, and this is the new woke speech. And I thought it was a joke. Okay, I thought this was one of those things you're making fun of people, but no, it's on CNN and everything else. And yeah, they're saying that animals are now the big issue. So it went from cows to now cats and dogs are now the primary reason. And they're telling, and this is interesting, they're telling people that you shouldn't have big dogs.
What?
Now, I want you to think about it. I have an actual reason why I think that is.
Why?
Well, okay. So we know that they want the police defunded, right? And we know that they are pro laws that allow pedophilia and things of that nature, right? What do big dogs do for your home?
Protect. Alarm.
So you have a kid. Do you
Uh-huh.
think that one of those pedos is going to be able to grab that kid with the dog there, especially a big German
Oh,
Shepherd?
no, yeah, they'll think twice.
Yep. Now, if they have a little Chihuahua, something stupid, what's he
Yeah.
going to do? Nothing.
No, but that's messed
No offense
up.
to you like Chihuahuas, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's
Like,
so messed up though. Like on different levels, that's messed up. I mean,
so,
mhm.
so when I think about liberals and when they do stuff that seems crazy, I always think about, okay, what is the ultimate goal? What does it affect? And almost always you can find some kind of weird connection with the kids.
Oh my God, and I saw something so disgusting too, but
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna leave that for conspiracy hour because I can't even remember if I saved it or not. But if you
Mhm.
do see this, and you guys can look at, I'll just say it. So I just saw in passing on the internet that there's this new you know how those women wear those face masks, but it's like a piece of paper and you put it over your face and the lotion kind of goes on your skin like a little facial,
Oh, okay.
and it's
Yeah.
like a paper facial like on
Right.
Walgreens or whatever. So there was this company that's doing one of those things, facial masks basically, and it's for kids. And guess what the shape of the face mask is? It's an animal. Take a wild guess.
It's an animal.
If for kids, that they want kids to start putting on this on their face, and it's a facial for your skin.
Oh,
Well, think
ox?
conspiracy. Think conspiracy. What animal is associated with the dark circles?
Oh, so I know butterflies.
That's one. Now, do you? Well, you've probably. I don't know. I don't know if you went down this rabbit hole, but we did speak about this with Jimmy one time when he was really pushing me to talk about the kids situation, and I was like, man, Jimmy.
I feel like I should know this. Is this one of the things that was released with the FBI files?
Jimmy
Pandas.
says,
Oh, pandas. Oh, my. Okay.
uh-huh.
Yep. Now that you said that, now I remember because they're talking about there's a certain thing they do and they resemble the panda because of the process. Yeah.
Exactly. So this face mask company is making masks as facials for kids, and it's a freaking panda. And I saw that today, and I can't remember if I bookmarked it or not. So if you want to look that up, look that up.
Yeah.
I
It's called
was
panda
disgusted.
face.
Exactly, and it was a it was a facial mask of a panda, and that's what gets me. You see what I'm saying? Like that really gets me.
It's all linked. There's a reason they do what they
Exactly.
do. There's always a reason. If you know what they like and what they do, you'll understand why they do and why they market the way they do.
Exactly. But that for me, that's a step too far. Like that's the red line because everything can be brushed off as a conspiracy, right? Like that's what they want us to do, right? But I can't do that if I keep seeing stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? I can't ignore it because when I see those two things linked, and if I would have never done that type of homework, even though it messed up my mental health for a little bit,
Yeah.
I would never know that. I would think, oh, it's cute. Like, oh, a panda's so cute. And you would never think about that again. You know what I'm saying? But I can't ignore it now because I already went down that road and you can't come back from that.
I just want to say something about that. How you see it now. So
Yes.
the circular symbol that means boy love,
Right.
right? That the FBI
Right.
released. I would never have paid really much attention to it, and I've seen it on kid videos of certain churches, and
Uh-oh.
then I was driving out of town, and here in Arizona, they have that symbol on the freeway, giant
No.
one, and I always go and think to myself, wait a minute, why did they use that?
Exactly.
Like, what
Oh my
company made
gosh.
that? Who's the person that designed that? And so that's the things like
Mhm,
what you just talked about. I don't
mhm.
know anything about that face mask company, but now it makes me think like, well, maybe you should investigate the founder. Maybe you should investigate the CEO. Maybe you should investigate
Exactly.
who supports this, who came up with it. Like then you're probably gonna find weird things about their history.
Exactly, which I will honestly tell you, I'm afraid to do that. I don't want to know those things. Like
Yeah.
I feel like as if I already know too much and it feels scary. Like I feel like
Yeah.
you're gonna the men in black on the men in black when you find something out you're not supposed to find out.
Well,
Right?
Exactly, and you know what? You could kind of tell sometimes when they're watching you because you know what will happen when you're talking
Mm-hmm.
about something that they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
You will notice things like you have internet problems, you have connection problems. All of a sudden, your
I
Wi-Fi
know. Oh
system's
my
not working right.
God.
All of a sudden, your phone's not working the way it should be. Like whenever you start seeing these things, people will just go, "Oh my gosh, we're just having an outage." Da, da. No, they're getting into your system, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean, here's the thing: is though, if they are really, really, really good, they can get in. You don't know. But when they're kind of
Okay.
like wokey and they're not really that good at their job and they're lazy and fat and it's kind of stupid, well, they're gonna make mistakes and then you're gonna be able to see it and find out. I'm just gonna tell you right now, my system they hacked my system and I had 2 hits. And what they did is they used my name and then they tried to make it look like my name and something so
Mm-hmm.
that made me think that I was gonna approve it to get into my
Mm-hmm.
system.
Right.
And they
Right. And
just did this last week.
you see what yeah, I totally I believe that 100%. I mean, I've seen too many movies, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that that exists, but I never would have thought that somebody like you and I, like, we're nobodies, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't
Yeah.
have any influential pull, or we're not rich, you're
Uh-huh.
like, we're just regular people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have never thought that that would be a thing, but it is. And
Well,
that's
that's the thing is you're the
mhm.
biggest and the most scariest thing they can have, and because you know what you are? You're somebody who knows the facts that they don't want people to know. And now I don't know how many people are on here, but it went from
Mhm.
just you knowing and me knowing to maybe 20, 30 people. Well, those 20, 30 people are going to
Exactly.
go talk to maybe 2 or 3 other people, and then all of a sudden more and more and more, and all of a sudden it's out of control, and everybody knows who they are. And then you're no longer George Soros. You're George Soros, the ex-Nazi.
Yeah,
Like, that's how it goes.
exactly. But how
Sorry
can
for that.
you how can you stalk or punish people for finding something out when you're putting it right in front of our faces?
Well, that's because it's a religious system that they use that for. It's called
Ah,
equities.
mm-hmm. Okay.
So, I mean, I know I've kind of talked about this before, but
Mm-hmm.
do you want me to explain it, or do you want me just to leave it at that for conspiracies?
Yeah, yeah, we could put a pin in that, because
Okay.
if we could find clips or videos or something, like a 5 minute or less clip, and we can compile something up, I want to
hmm
do a little segment on that, like a whole 30-minute thing on that, so people could hop on and talk about that, you know?
There are clips and stuff you can get there. I've seen some of the stuff, like for example, former
Mhm.
members of the Church of Satan, the Grand Wizards, have
Right.
come out and talked
Yeah.
about this stuff.
There you
So
go. Yeah, jackpot. So that's
yeah,
what I want. If you could find something like that and
mhm.
email me stuff like that, I would like to do that on a Tuesday soon, soon. So we'll write that down. That's number
Oh,
2 on the list.
all right. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Okay, so next there is Congressman Brandon Gill. He just filed, this is great, articles of impeachment against the radical activist judge James Boasberg. Oh
Uh-oh.
yeah. All right. So James Boasberg abused his power by weaponizing our judicial system against citizens during the Biden administration as part of Arctic frost, guys. So that's why you're hearing that Arctic frost all the time. That's what they're talking about.
Mhm.
Investigation. Judge Boasberg signed off on uh, orders to conceal the fact that United States senators as well as civilians were being watched by FBI, CIA, and stuff like that. So what this is saying is the Biden administration was illegally putting surveillance equipment like they've done with me to other people, and they're actually going after him for this. And several other judges and stuff are getting looked at right now because what they did was actually illegal, and they you can do this kind of thing like let's say they wanted to do this to me. They would have to prove in court that I was a danger, but they weren't doing
Right.
that. They were just signing it off, and then they were going after congressmen and doing this stuff, and then they were hiding it. So when Kash Patel went in, when we're hearing about Comey and then Comey destroying and burning those records, these are some of the things that they found out and seized that didn't get burnt. So
Okay.
they're screwed. They're really screwed big time.
And this was a judge.
Yep.
that was doing this.
This is one of the judges. United States. I think he's not just a judge. He's one of the high-ranking judges.
Okay. And what does that mean, Arctic Frost? What is that?
That is the so there's always codes that you give when you do things like this, because they don't say, hey, go spy. They give you code names, and that was the code name of the of like basically what they're doing.
Oh,
So
okay.
like Project Blue Book, things like that, the UFO thing, they have a certain name. It's just a name. It's just a standard procedure. They give a
Okay,
certain name.
okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's interesting. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, so that's really, I mean, of all the things that I'm talking about tonight, that's the
Mhm.
most important. Okay.
Wow.
James B. Comey. Oh, okay. So here's another good one. So James B. Comey, lawyer and former director of the Federal Bureau of Investigations, documents were released about him dealing. He gave Epstein, or he asked Epstein to accuse Donald Trump of wrongdoing, and
Mm-hmm.
Epstein refused. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing that came out, and people are talking about this. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, at first, I was like, whoa, 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 we got something here. Well, it turned out that this is coming from the cellmate of Epstein, which is a
Mm-hmm.
convicted murderer of 4 different people. And so
Wow.
he's saying this took place, but it sounds great. But honestly, am I going to trust a convicted murderer that murdered 4 people that's going to live there for the rest of their life? He'll do anything to get a deal. So I've been
Ah,
real wary about this. It could be true, it could not. I just want
right.
to throw it out there because it's a thing that might end up blowing up, but then again, it might
Mhm.
just kind of get swooped under. What's your opinions about
Right.
it, Ruby? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't trust nobody and I don't trust nothing. So I wouldn't trust that either. The whole Epstein stuff, we talked about this a lot
Hmm.
in past episodes. And the last thing I remember feeling about that whole situation was that I was done with it. I'm done. Like I didn't want to, my energy is already burnt out with it. It's like I know it, but I feel like nobody's gonna ever get arrested. The real information is never gonna get out there.
It's destroyed.
So yeah. So for me, I'm just like, if he's dead, he's dead. If he's alive, he's alive. I don't care no more. Like I don't know. And I hate to say that because I
Hmm.
don't want to be that type of person,
Yeah.
but I just feel like exhausted with it. So until I see something of substance, and I thought I got
Hmm.
that when they did the phase 1 and the whole binders and everything, and everybody went to the White House. That's when I actually felt like something was going to happen. And I got disappointed very quickly.
The only way that I think that this will ever come out is if the English royal family releases what they have on, obviously, their son. And
Oh,
they,
Andrew, Prince Andrew. Yeah.
yeah, and I doubt they're ever going to do that. But that's the
Right.
only way I ever think that they could get any legitimate information, is because obviously they know and they were
Right.
involved in that.
Right. Okay. Well, until
So,
something happens, then I'm not gonna hold my breath, but I do want to be there. I want to witness it at least.
oh yeah, the next thing I have to say, I
Hmm.
want you guys to just kind of take a breath for a second, because we
Hmm.
got some really good news. All right, you ready?
All right.
Nancy Pelosi is announcing retirement.
Yes,
Come on, that's good, right?
that
Yes.
was
And
newsworthy.
and she is going down in the books as the greatest businesswoman in US history.
Really?
Uh-huh. I'm not even joking. She has made more money on stocks as a congressman than any other person in Congress in history, by a huge, huge percentage.
Really?
Yeah.
But isn't that illegal?
Well, no, it's not, because what she's doing is they want to make it illegal, but it's not, unfortunately.
What do you mean? I like there's loopholes or is
Well,
it
there's
legal?
no law stopping them from doing this. So
Okay,
they
so
make
since
deals and
okay.
stuff, whatever. She goes and puts her stock in there, and then knows how the market's going to go, because she's the one making the deals, and then she's profiting off of it. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's called
So
inside trading.
exactly, and that is illegal, is it not?
It is, if not when you're in Congress, but if you're like if you're on Wall Street, then yes.
Okay, we got
I guess you
Gigi
would
on
call
the
that the
stage.
loophole.
Exactly. Hi, Gigi.
Hey, Gigi.
Hey, how's it going? I gotta go, but I just gotta. This is what you guys don't know about Nancy Pelosi. There's a group of people on the internet, and see when you're that level of a politician or CEO or wherever, you have to disclose what, like, I sold this, I bought that.
Mhm.
You can't just go buy, like I can go right now on my brokerage account and I just
I
buy.
know what you're gonna say too.
Okay, so there's a group of people,
Yeah.
ragtag, you know, and they're the moment she discloses what she bought, they
They match
run
her.
and match the buy or the
Yeah.
sell, and so
There's a whole web page dedicated to her.
people are getting rich off of the crumbs that she's dropping.
I know.
That's how insanely it's so funny, man. It's just, well, it's not funny. The corruption is sinks to high heaven. The good news is there are people, Joe Blue Collar, that are making money off of this.
Yeah.
But that's
So
funny.
they're college kids that created that algorithm that follows everything that she does.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, and so
smart.
anytime she does something, it posts on the, and they do that with all the top like politicians.
Correct.
And what he's saying is totally true. I actually was gonna do it and follow that website, but I gotta pay for my kids' college, so I can't do that right now.
Forget,
But yes, dude,
hey,
you're totally
crypto
on,
sucks, man. Nancy Pelosi stock picks,
dude.
they're the
She's
best.
she like, I'm not even joking. Like they were like, I was watching PVD and they were talking that she has made more money than any other politician in that position ever.
Yeah,
Like she's in the Guinness Book of World Records for being like the best investor ever.
yeah, yeah. That's funny.
Wow, that's crazy.
All right,
Now,
man, let's go. Bye.
Thank you so
thank
much
you,
for bringing that up.
Gigi. Yeah. Oh my God. That should be illegal. They should make a law that stops them from doing that because they are supposed to be serving us, right?
Yeah.
Not themselves or making money anywhere else than just serving your job, your district, your people. Like, I guess that's politics, right? I don't know. Sometimes I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like. I think if you go in there, you shouldn't be allowed to have stocks at all.
Right. At
I mean,
all.
you're going there to serve the people. Like when you're just going there to rob us blind, I don't really appreciate that.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So she is not going to be running again. That's good.
Yep. So now the next thing I have is obviously it's an update going on with Ukraine, which is kind of crazy. Which is going, if you guys were watching the last couple days.
Uh-huh.
So okay, high tensions, Ukraine, newest front line. Russia delivered a ruthless demand for surrender of Ukraine troops. Battle for survival, and I can't say the name, so I apologize.
Okay.
Polkervox.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so it's one of the fronts, and this is where Ukraine's logistics are coming through this train station, and it's Pokrovsk, and it's Kyiv, right?
Mm-hmm.
Russia has surrounded them, and 21,000 troops have defected on Ukraine's side. Now, this
Wow.
is the part that I want to point out to people is, okay, so this is happening. They're surrounding and they're having to retreat because Ukraine can't hold this off right now.
Mm-hmm.
I saw so many videos coming out and saying that the Russians took a huge loss and that this is happening, they're collapsing and all this other stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
yet the troops are saying that no, we've had to abandon the front, and they lost it, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid that Ukraine is on the verge of collapse now for reals, because
Mm-hmm.
that Kyiv is where the logistics are coming from, their food, their water, the ammunition, all that stuff, the train, and then they just lost their major power plant. So they're out
Right.
of power now. So things are looking really, really, really bad for Ukraine right now. And then Russia, I just saw something, and I wish I would have put it down, but Russia just entered or sent like something crazy, like 125,000 soldiers, like came out of
Oh,
nowhere unexpectedly. And this is either today or yesterday.
really? So you think Ukraine versus Russia is done?
Well, I mean, if Ukraine is in the position it is now, it will collapse. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, Russia is going to eventually win, but the only way that anything could happen is NATO is going to have to step in to help them out because they're collapsing.
Oh no.
Now, if NATO does that, I don't really know because NATO is the one that told uh, Zelensky
Mhm.
not to bargain with Putin.
But why would NATO step in if Ukraine isn't a part? I thought that was just for the countries that were a part of it.
Well, that's how the war started. Is Ukraine was wanting to join NATO, and we have
Exactly.
and we have an agreement with Russia saying that Ukraine would stay neutral and never join. And then
Right.
Ukraine violated that agreement with Russia,
Right.
and that's where this all came from.
Right. So
Well,
why
not to
would NATO
mention,
step in?
I mean, there's I mean, there's so much to this that they would take hours to
Right.
explain everything, but the big things is we also were running our CIA through Ukraine into Russia, and Russia knew that and wasn't very happy.
Well, I wouldn't blame them. Do you see, this is why I was against this from the beginning. I don't even, I would even go as far as to say NATO itself should be abolished. We shouldn't be
Oh, I don't
making
trust
deals with
NATO one bit.
nobody.
NATO can kiss it.
Yeah. It's like, what? Honestly, Ukraine should have never said or done it. And yeah, I feel almost like a hypocrite if I say something
Mhm.
like that, because I do believe in, like, freedom and rebellion and, going up against the government, stuff like that. But not if you're Ukraine. Like, to me, that
Mhm.
should, or wasn't it a part of Russia long time
Yeah,
ago?
Ukraine
Like,
was part of the Soviet Union when it broke away. So the reason why Ukraine has been able to hold out as long as it is Ukraine used to be a giant manufacturer of tanks,
uh-huh.
and they also was a large portion of their nuclear weapons. But Ukraine gave those nuclear weapons away for that peace
Mhm.
contract with NATO,
I
the US,
see. I
and Russia.
see. Okay. So you see, this is why I don't engage. I do not
Mhm.
engage in geopolitics. I'm
Yeah.
completely against it, because who am I to say what they should or shouldn't be doing? I'm American. I should be focused and worried about my own country,
Yeah.
And
Well,
unfortunately, they're going through it, but I feel
mhm.
for them. Hmm.
So this is what I really, really worry about. Okay,
Hmm.
so after Russia and Ukraine are done fighting,
Hmm.
now people are saying all this stupid shit about how
Hmm.
Russia is going to collapse, their economy's falling apart. No, all you've done is Russia has gotten rid of all its old equipment, and I mean, they've taken massive losses with all their old, equipment from the
Right.
70s,
Right.
60s, and 80s. And
Hmm.
now you know what they have?
The
Now
new
they've
stuff.
learned how to fight with drones. They're fighting like the same
Hmm.
way that Ukraine is. Now they're going to become way more technologically advanced, and they're going to be an actual military that has lots and lots of experience now, which wasn't really what had happened in the beginning because they blitzkrieged Ukraine and didn't realize the defenses they had, and they lost their commanders and all their actual trained soldiers. But now they're starting to realize what they had
Ah,
done,
okay. I
and I'm
see.
worried that they're going to become more technologically advanced because the tactics they used, if you know Russian history, you know Russian tactics, this blitzkrieg kind of tactic is how Russians fight. And now they've learned to fight differently.
Which is honestly, I think, the real reason why why all wars start to begin with, is so that that can happen. They get their old stuff out, but unfortunately, nobody thinks about the actual people who are dying. How many men have died? How many fathers, husbands? And then what happens to their society? Their society is destroyed. It probably doesn't even exist anymore. Like, they
Yeah,
had
I
to
mean,
leave their country. It's
how is
destroyed.
Ukraine ever going to come back from this? They've lost all their males.
Exactly.
And then even Russia lost 1 million aged
Wow.
males. 1 million. Like,
That,
that's, imagine if we just lost 1 million of our troops.
um exactly, which is why I'm so anti-war. And did you see that interview with
Somebody
that
said,
veteran?
sorry.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just going to say, somebody just said Ukraine's number is 500,000.
Psh, that's probably what they're reporting. I think it's way more.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
don't
way
know. I mean, we have, I would say that the numbers, honestly, coming from Ukraine are very, very accurate because their kills are
more.
all coming from drones, mostly. So
Ah,
they're gonna be
okay.
way more accurate than the Russian numbers.
Yay, Jimmy!
What's up, my friends and family?
Hi, Jimmy. Oh man, Jimmy. I'm
Sorry, Ruby. I put geopolitics. I pulled Ruby into it.
yeah, and that's one of my I hate geopolitics. I hate it with a passion.
Well, I've been listening to you guys all night, so yeah. And Beau's done a really great job, so thank you both for stepping in. And like I said, I'll try to jump on late, maybe next week, but don't count on it. We'll see what happens. I didn't think I was going to be able to jump on here tonight because we're trying to pack and clean the house and get everything ready before we leave on Thursday. So, but I wanted to come on here because, well, I'm done with all my stuff and I miss you guys. So, so hello to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys. This whole Ukraine thing, Ukraine's done. Ukraine's done. And what they're going to try to do, what NATO's going to try to do, I saw it in the chat. NATO is an effing joke. They are corrupt. All they want is war. And that's why they keep pushing the whole Ukraine thing, even though they know they're going to lose. What you have to remember about Ukraine is it was the seat of the deep state. They have their child trafficking and human trafficking stuff going on there. And a lot of corruption as far as money laundering and everything. And that's what Russia went in and found was all these places to where you had the biolabs.
Right.
Creating these viruses. Right. So not only are they creating viruses in these biolabs, they have the human trafficking aspect to it, the child trafficking, the money laundering. That's why NATO is trying to protect Ukraine, but it's going to fail. Now they're going to push it, and they're going to keep pushing and pushing and try to make it look like there's going to be a World War III, that Putin's going to go in and do whatever. Let me just say, if Russia wanted Ukraine, they would have taken them 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah. I don't think it would have ever gone this far, but they're dragging it out. And I think they're cleaning house. I agree with that. So let me ask you this, Jimmy. Do you think that in this context, Russia is a white hat?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And the reason why I say that is because I've mentioned before how I believe that Trump, Xi, Putin, Modi, Kim Jong-un, they're all working together against the deep state.
Wow.
Do you think China is helping?
Yes.
Really?
And just remember with China, they have a deep state just like us, and their deep state is the CCP. You got the CCP, but then you got the PRC, the People's Republic of China.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's the one that's working with Trump is the PRC.
That's interesting.
So let me ask you, Jimmy, how I agree with the line of thinking with this theory, right? But then how do you account for, or how do you explain all of those thousands upon thousands of people dying in the middle of all these little wars?
Well, the thing is, if there's a war going on, there are people dying, unfortunately. I'm not saying the war's fake. So unfortunately, there's going to be people that are going to die in the wars. There is the theory out there that some of the stuff, as far as these deaths and everything, have been fabricated. I can't confirm nor deny that at the moment.
I could tell you right now, we have friends and stuff that have family in Ukraine, and the stories that they had told us are horrific.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Right. I believe it. I just feel like real human beings, us, get thrown into the mix of that between these deep state wars or stupid wars with these countries, and we're the ones paying that price. We pay the ultimate price.
That's exactly what they do. That's their MO. That's their playbook.
But that has to stop. Like when do we start saying no more? We're not going to enlist. We're not going to take arms and fight these wars for them and die for them.
It is starting to happen here in the United States. You know, they say recruitment's up. Yeah, recruitment's up right now because Trump's in office.
Right.
And Trump stands for the Constitution, whether you believe that or not, for some folks. But anyway, but during the Biden administration, our numbers were horrible. During the Obama administration, our numbers were horrible. So there were people out there that have already denied going into the military because they just didn't want to go fight a deep state war. And there's a lot of people in the military right now that they don't want to be involved in a deep state war.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Jimmy? And then Ruby, if you want to bounce off this too. So we know that after World War II, Russia attained the records of all the Masonic lodges.
Mm-hmm.
I have always wondered if the part of the reason why they attacked Ukraine is to get the other half of those Masonic documents and connections for deep state, because Russia knows everything that took place, that everything that the Germans knew, Russia has and knows. And they know everything that's the playbook with the Masonic orders. And I think that's why when Russia went in there, I can't say the name of the church, but that church that I can't say was funneling money to neo-Nazi parties.
Yeah.
And Russia exposed
What?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that church, everyone on this, I can't say the name of it, but everybody here knows that church.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah,
I was one of those videos that I put out. It's still on my channel too.
And you also have to remember the lineage of Ukraine and who's actually there. And it goes back to the Khazarian mafia, the fake Jews. So there's that aspect to it as well. So now I haven't heard anything, Beau, about the whole Russia has the documents of the Mason. I've never heard that, but I wouldn't doubt it.
There's whole document. So, I mean, it's not even like a secret thing. Like right now, it was a couple of years ago, Russia was actually selling some of those documents back to I think it was Greenland or Iceland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and those Masonic lodges were paying Russia to get a hold of those records, because Russia just has them as like, oh yeah, and then Russia actually recently gave like crates and crates and crates of these Masonic records that they, all these historical events back to some of those Masons from these different European countries.
Yeah,
like whole truckloads. I was watching a documentary about it and stuff.
That's interesting.
So
yeah,
I mean, they didn't say all this deep state stuff. They were just saying it was a historical thing, is how they were putting it.
Right.
Wow.
Let me make this little announcement right here. One of my new associates that I'm training, I met him for the first time today. He is retired State Bureau of Investigation and CIA connections.
No, Jimmy.
We were talking today. I was out training him today. My manager told me, Jimmy, before he made me district manager, he said, Jimmy, please don't talk politics to the new people. And I'm like, okay, all right, I won't do that. But the dude brought it up today while we were working. I didn't bring it up. So, but he opened the door and I stepped right in.
You think he was there for a reason?
Exactly, Jimmy.
I don't know. He's but he was telling me a lot of stuff today, stuff that he was involved in, and about kidnapping people to get information out of them, what they would do to get information out of people. I was like, man, I cannot wait to get back from vacation and work with him on a daily basis, because I'm going to learn a lot of shit.
Well, if Jimmy disappears or gets hit by a truck,
exactly, Jimmy.
We know what happened. I'm just going to
say. Jimmy. This is scaring me. Like, I feel like he's a plant trying to gain your trust, trying to be buddy with you, and then one day we're not gonna see you anymore. So be careful with that one, no matter how nice he is.
See, the thing is I didn't hire him. Our regional manager does the hiring and everything. So he didn't even, well, now you got me. He didn't know who I was until today.
Right.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, be careful with that one.
Yes. But
So,
very interesting. I was going to ask you one more thing, Jimmy, about that war, about just war in general with the deep state. I was going to ask you, wouldn't it be better if we actually knew about the real stuff behind the scenes, and people would be signing up like tomorrow to be a part of something bigger than these stupid wars with this stupid propaganda, and fight for a real cause? Wouldn't that be better?
it's already happening, Ruby.
Where? Like
Q.
where? Like
That's the whole thing about Q. Is to wake people up to all the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. You know, they can't tell them everything because of security reasons, national security and other stuff, classified information. But they put out enough information where millions of people around the world have taken this information, decoded it, studied it, learned what these things were happening behind the scenes, and people are fighting it. The thing about this war right now, the revolution, it's not going to be televised. You're not going to see it on TV.
okay.
It's not going to happen. Everything is being done clandestine style. And the reason why it's being done that way is to keep the people from freaking panicking and causing harm to themselves.
Okay,
It's like the mask thing when, I mean, I don't know how many people know this, but when they told everyone, when we were panicking about COVID, they were telling people to put the mask on. They knew the mask didn't do anything. That was just a precaution to tell the public to keep them calm.
right.
Because they were telling them, oh, that'll help. They all knew 100% that they wouldn't do crap.
Yeah, yes, I agree with that, but I also add that they have multiple reasons for doing certain things. So with the mask, yes, that would be, you know, in my opinion, it would be to see who would comply.
Right. That's like a control mechanism to see who's going to fall for it.
That's one aspect of it. And then, yeah, maybe if people thought they were being protected, that wouldn't create, you know, some chaos or whatever. But the other thing it was used for, what else happened in 2020? We had all the riots and people had their faces covered.
Right.
So they couldn't be identified.
Yep.
Right. But if that is true and you believe that it won't be televised, then how do you know if you won or lost?
Oh, we've already won. It's already happened. All this stuff has already happened. We're just seeing the cleanup operation right now and disclosure.
Okay.
That's why you never see me worried about stuff, because like with Miss Nancy Pelosi, I heard y'all talking about her earlier.
Yeah.
Ruby, check your DMs. Hey, you know what? Why don't you play the conspiracy thing real quick, and then we can move forward to that clip with Nancy Pelosi. Our intro for the conspiracy part of the show.
That's right. That's right. Okay, let me find it. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
you sent me something.
Yes, I did.
You
The last thing I sent you on your DM tonight about Nancy Pelosi.
Right. Okay. So Jimmy sends this, and the quote is the day Nancy got arrested.
Oh, why is it froze up? There we go.
What?
If I remember correctly, I do believe that was the inauguration for Trump. If I remember correctly. And that was a U.S. Marshal telling Nancy Pelosi, don't say anything. So there are a lot of us that believe that that was the day that Nancy got arrested. The real Nancy. And there's a lot of us that believe that she's already gone. And the one that's retiring, that's the clone actor, mask, or whatever.
Okay. And I already know the video for Hillary was when they were putting her in that van. I remember you also saying that was her getting arrested.
Yes. Yes. And what I want to say about something Beau said earlier is y'all were talking about the panda stuff and all that, but Beau said, hey, I don't know how many people are on here, maybe 21 people, but 21 people hear this. Those 21 people will go talk to 2 or 3 people, and then this information just keeps snowballing. So, and he's absolutely right. That is what has happened over the last 5 years. And that's why the Democratic, the rhinos, that's why they're freaking panicking, because they know they've lost the information. We've won the information war.
Yeah. I mean, look at mainstream media. It doesn't even get a tenth of the views that some of the big YouTubers get. They have no audience. They're only afloat because the government keeps them afloat.
Right. Now look at this. I found the clip. So it says they are using panda eyes with these makeup products for children. Do y'all know the meaning behind the panda symbolism? So look at that.
Yeah.
That mommy's doing. And then, Atlas one day was kind of like, wait, where's mine? And I tried to find her a sheet mask online, and the ingredients in these masks are crazy. They're actually shouldn't be used for kids at all. And then the same was true for all of the makeup. I'm looking at now all of the things that we eliminated from Rini products. Yeah. And it kind of makes us look at our own bodies and their faces. It's just a lot more comforting. If you don't need the added chemicals, then why have them?
Is that a commercial for him or against it?
It's the promotion. That's the promotional video. It looks like that's a mom, and she created it because the kids like to do
say
facial.
something about that?
Yeah.
Did you notice that those women's shirts are open? The moms?
They're what?
Their shirts are open.
Their shirts?
They're unbuttoned and showing their cleavage.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, let me go back. Okay, in the first, she's wearing a tank top. Oh, yes.
The one in the white shirt. Look how far those buttons are unbuttoned.
Uh-huh.
Is that and then look, I mean, even the one on the
Yep.
I don't know if you can get it to stop.
I can't zoom into it, but yeah, definitely.
When you see stuff like that, you know what I do sometimes is I will turn the sound off and then watch the video.
Yeah.
And see what you actually see without the distractions of the voices.
Yep.
Oh, you wanna try it watching it in mute?
Sure. And it's kind of I mean, first off, I see the kid. The kid looks nervous. That's the first thing I see. And those masks are kind of creepy.
Yep.
And then I see that. I'm like, well, why are we? Do you see how far her shirt is open? It's going all the way to the breast line, which is weird. Why would you do that when you're talking a video about stuff for kids? See that?
Yep. Yeah. Wow.
Now I can't see because it's not. Now the next thing I'd be looking is the jewelry that she's wearing, that circle pendant that she has that's on the breast line, what is it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Mm.
See, this is a good way. This is a good way to watch some videos out there, because when I first started going down the rabbit holes in 2020, I would watch videos to where all they were showing is what you're seeing right now: pictures,
Yeah.
clips, no sound, and that way you can see and not be distracted by the music or whatever, the commentary. You can actually look at the pictures and be like, "What the is that?"
Yeah. Wow. So I saw that, and that's what threw me off. I was like, this is a direct message.
That video is straight up trying to normalize pedophilia.
Wow. And you
That's
would
what
never
it
think of that if you just saw that randomly. Like, if you didn't really know anything, you just look at that like, oh yeah, nice ingredients, and you can put it for kids. Like it, and I hate that. It's scary because I feel like that could be me. I could get caught with something like that and not even know it. And I don't want to be like that. Like, I want to be so educated, or I hope to be or like knowledgeable at least in certain things, so that I'm not caught looking like a fool out there having my kid wearing a thing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the deep state, New World Order, whatever the hell you want to call them, they are banking on the ignorance of the people.
Exactly.
And that's why you see so much propaganda. And that's why when you have people like us calling them out, that's why we get banned from Facebook. That's why we get kicked off of YouTube, because they don't want other people spreading this message. Hey, let's look over here. And they don't want people that have that type of influence influencing others to look into it, because it's educating them. And you can't have an educated populace if you want to keep them in slavery.
Exactly. So, it was Veterans Day, right? Today? Is that today?
Yeah.
Okay. So Veterans Day. Did you guys see that UK interview with that veteran from, I think it was World War II? Okay. Let's play that, because this is... It's like Veterans Day is now becoming problematic for me. like I'm having an opinion, you know what I'm saying? And I feel weird, but let's just watch it.
Sunday mean for you? What is your message?
My message is, I can see in my mind's eye those rows and rows of white stones of all the hundreds of my friends and everybody else that gave their lives for what? The country of today. No, I'm sorry. The sacrifice wasn't worth the result that it is now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
What do you mean by that, though?
What we fought for, was our freedom. We find that even now it's darn sight worse than what it was when I fought for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Alec, I'm sorry you feel like that, because I want you to know that all the generations that have come since, including me and my children, are so grateful for your bravery and all that for service personnel. And it's our job now, isn't it, to make it the country that you fought for. You absolutely fought for.
Is it.
And we will do. We want to...
I'm so wonderful to know there are people like you that can spread the word around.
We will do.
Younger generation.
And I guarantee that everybody watching at home will be wanting you to send lots of love. We've got another little bit special thing for you, Alec. We've got the D-Day darlings here. Come on over, guys. You've got a little special present for him. Ooh. Come and give it if you can.
Okay.
That woman was so fake at the end.
You want me to play the whole thing, or was that good enough?
No. I'm just saying that woman trying to give that man praise and everything. That was so fake. To me, that was so freaking fake.
And my gosh, that's the first time I watched that clip. Like, I didn't even need to watch that before to already know what he said and how he said it, because we feel like this here in the UPC. We feel like that here. And you guys know me long enough. If you've been watching since day one, you guys know that I totally agree with this man. And this is why I'm so anti-war, because he is 100% correct. What was it? It's not worth it. All those people who've died so we could live in a country and call that freedom. But are we too free? And I remember bringing that up before. But Jesse just joined the stage. So before I play my next clip to really nail this down, how you doing, Jesse?
I'm confused. Which one's Jimmy?
Jimmy's here and Beau is Jimmy's here.
Hey, thank you for playing that last clip. That's made I've been on my rounds everywhere, on my social media, my friends, that 100-year-old veteran. So he must have been about 17 in 1945, more or less. So he was a young man right at the end of the war. And it is so dynamic what he's saying. Think about it. All your buddies are dead or sacrificed, everything. And he's calling into question. It's like us. Are we willing to quit on the experiment of self-government? Are we willing to quit on John F. Kennedy? Are we willing to quit on Abraham Lincoln? Are we willing to quit all our fathers? And that's what that man is saying. He's saying his nation is shit.
Yep.
What he's also saying too is that gentleman is awake, because he understands that these wars that we've been through all these past 100-some years, they've all been manufactured, and all them soldiers on all sides, they're nothing but pawns in a chess game.
Correct. So if you know your country is going down, and you have a lot of white guys that are upset because your country is being decimated in Ireland or in Scotland or in Great Britain or in England, wouldn't it be neat to calm them down by sending them off to war? And so we're seeing a lot of people are saying before it was a conspiracy theory that wars were meant to clean out the population.
That's
and now
true.
We're seeing, wow, this is true. Look at what's happening in Britain. That a lot of people are waking up and all the mass migration, replacement migration. And so what do? They're looking for wars, and they want Russia to be the meat grinder. And Russia don't want it.
Hypothetically, think about this. Think about all the American soldiers who went to war in World War II, thinking that they were fighting against a Nazi regime that wanted to oppress them and all that. You took the most of your patriotic people joined the military to do that. Think about 9/11. So many patriots joined the military. So then they get sent off to war, and these patriots die. Well, if they were still alive and in their homes and in their districts, how many of those soldiers could have been great patriotic congressmen or senators or president?
And you know what? Another thing is, when I was a kid, I really believed it. I really believed what you laid out, because when I was a little kid during the Cold War, they taught us send the word over there that the Yanks are coming. It was all quiet on the Western Front. We went and saved their lily white asses in 1917. You know, the Germans, they were ready to take over the world, and they came close in World War II. But it was the Yanks that beat back the Krauts, and so that's what we were taught. But now we're seeing, wait a second, they're using these young boys, like Jimmy's saying, they could have been great doctors, lawyers. Yeah. And it's just a meat grinding.
But
it's a senseless murder of kids.
And another thing that the war is used for is depopulation. So you take out a bunch of men, how many men are now off the map and can't produce anything?
And how many men are coming from the Middle East to Great Britain?
Oh, hell no. Yeah,
so they're being replaced. So you replace your population with Middle Eastern men, and you know what? And this is why that gentleman is crying, because the words that we just uttered, if we say that in Great Britain, you could wind up in jail.
Right. So this also goes in line with the whole Mamdani situation, because it took one generation for New York to forget. You see, they say never forget 9/11, right? Well, they forgot. They forgot. And that's my generation. And that's why I'm so disgusted. It's just so disrespectful, honestly, because we were there, we witnessed that, right? Like, forget about the propaganda, right? It's just the fact of the matter. We were told, we were brainwashed, whatever you want to call it. And then they want to put that stupid slogan, oh, never forget. But then 20 years later, you're going to elect a Muslim as the mayor of New York City.
Let me ask you
Majority of
this.
the people that want to end you, that go around and preach that they want you to die in their streets.
Exactly.
And now you're going to give them governmental power for the people who want to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you guys this. Do y'all really believe, after what we've learned about election stuff in the last 8 years, that those elections were legit?
True.
I think they are, because New York is just, I mean, there's so much stupidness comes from that place. No offense, Ruby. There are great things
I
too,
do think
but
something's wrong.
the corruption is so bad that it's like a rot. It's the rot of the United States.
And in line with that, Beau, if you think about it, these elections, they were in Democratic held places, right? They've been Democratic for all these years. So, and the media is propping it up as a big, huge win for the Democratic Party. But it's not something that was surprising. Everybody knew that a Democrat was going to take the mayorship of New York. Everybody knew that there'd be a Democratic governor in New Jersey. So,
can I throw you a conspiracy theory about this? That I want to see what you
of
think
course,
of this.
that's the part of the show.
Okay. So people have been telling me that they think that he won, right, legitimately, and that he is going to purposely bring socialism in there to show the rest of the United States how stupid socialism really is, in order to make the Democrats look even stupider than what they already are.
That's what I was alluding to last week when I said he was placed in this position to do the exact same. Yes, I absolutely do. I absolutely do.
Can I answer that too? I agree with you. And Lenin and Marx, they understood that if you could get one generation and you educate them, if you get the children, in one generation, you'll own the population.
Yep.
And that's what they did. They demoralized. And Ruby talked about it earlier, how when she went back to New York and she was explaining what it looked like, they demoralized the nation. You bring in an influx. Let's say you have a company with 10 men and somebody, and like I'm in business and I got 10 guys. And I get a guy from Mexico or I get a guy from China and they come in and they don't use none of the OSHA, none of the EPA rules. One guy. Well, we get him and go, hey. In the United States, this is the way we do things. This is how you do things. And we assimilate him to the work crew.
Right.
But if I were to get 10 illegals or 10 people who mass migrated into it, I couldn't control it. And that's what they did to New York City. And that's what they're doing to New York. They haven't assimilated, so they crash it. You know, in economic terms, don't they call it Clower and Piven? How they crash the economy? Well, the same thing in the population. With this mass migration, Joe Biden and Alexandria Mayorkas destroyed America. For example, imagine if Jimmy is going on vacation. Tomorrow, he gets up real early, 4 o'clock in the morning. And he turns on the front porch light, leaves the door wide open, and his kids are asleep in the bed, and his wife is in bed. Leaves the door wide open with all the lights and the music going off. What would you say? What kind of person is that? A careless person? It could even be made the case that he is endangering the lives of people.
Yes.
And that's what Joe Biden and Alexandria Mayorkas did to our nation. They let the entire third world population come in. It endangered everybody's lives. And the consequences are what we're seeing in New York and all the Democrat-controlled cities. They just brought in so much and they overwhelmed the system. And that's a communist Marxist playbook.
Yep.
Right, exactly.
That's what they're doing to Europe right now. They've collapsed their healthcare system, and that's why they're trying to get rid of Obamacare right now, because Obamacare is completely draining us.
Yep. You know, one of the main reasons why Obamacare was set up, and we'll maybe touch into this a little bit later sometime.
So they can bring illegals in at one point, so then they would be on Obamacare, so that they could take, because if they're paying for Obamacare, that money is increased, what, 4 times what it was originally. So all that money means that they're pulling from somewhere else.
Obamacare was put in place to facilitate trafficking.
And voters, and buying voters.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, I need that on the homeworks, a sheet.
I don't know about this.
Write that down.
I mean, I really want to know, like, how
Yeah.
did Obamacare help with?
Hey, Jimmy,
We'll have to talk about that later.
when you asked Beau a question about the election, and I agree with Beau on that, I agree with him. I do believe that the elections are true, but there's a saying in America: get the vote out, the voting machine. In 1960, when John F. Kennedy beat Richard Nixon, that was one of the closest votes up to that time, probably closer than George Bush, Al Gore in 1999, 2000. But Joe Kennedy, he got the vote out, the Union vote in Chicago. It was the last holdout. Like under Bush Gore, it was in Florida. But in 1960, it was Chicago, and the unions got out the vote. And that's what happens in all these big cities, like in these swing states, like in Phoenix. That's why they don't stop counting till about weeks after the election. They're still getting out the votes. So we're seeing cheat, and there's no spirit to stop it. You could see the buses rolling in, and anybody who says anything, you could wind up dead for talking about it.
I'm gonna tell you, right? Did you see where Trump pardoned Giuliani and oh God, what's Powell? What's her name? Powell.
Cindy or Sydney?
Sidney Powell. Yeah. If you notice those people that he pardoned, those were all the ones that the deep state tried to convict or whatever for election interference and fraud and all that stuff. And Trump just pardoned them. I'm gonna go out on a limb right now and make a prediction. By spring, I do believe you're going to hear a lot more about the 2020 election.
That was actually that was the last thing that was on my list.
Okay. So talking about that whole veteran situation, I came across this clip and I'm gonna play it because this is exactly how I feel, and it sums it up perfectly. So let's watch it.
Why are you fighting? So my great-grandchildren can be a minority in their own country. Why are you fighting? So men can wear women's clothes and use their bathrooms. Why are you fighting?
So a Muslim can be mayor of London.
Why are you fighting?
So men can travel by small dinghies across the English Channel.
Why are you fighting?
So my children can pay for a Marxist education and call me a racist.
Why are you fighting?
That's good.
Wow, that's really good. Yeah.
And that's AI, obviously, but that's exactly how I feel about almost everything. And that's why when that veteran, when he said what he said, how all of his friends are dead and it wasn't even worth it, because when you look at it now, what did they fight for? They fought for all of this, like we said, illegal immigration, for those nations to replace them, for their grandchildren to call them racists 20 years later, for them to, they're being taught to even hate themselves because of their race, or have this guilt, that guilt privilege, all that stupid woke stuff. That's exactly how I feel about
See,
this.
when I think about our veterans, I feel completely sorry for them, because in their mind, they went, in their hearts, they went for a good reason, what they thought they were fighting for. And then to come to find out, 80 some years later, that you were being used to further an agenda of criminals. Let's call it what it is. They're criminals.
Right.
And it's sad because, they didn't know. They didn't know. Think about all the people, and this is, and the deep state uses this in many different areas. Think about all the people who got the Fauci ouchie. They thought they were protecting themselves. They were protecting their families, but no, they were furthering the agenda of these criminals. Same
but
thing.
Doesn't that always happen though, Jimmy? Like that's what I'm trying to get at.
That's the reason why people need to stop listening to the media, stop buying into all this fear and propaganda, and go out and educate yourselves about this stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you don't do that, then I'm sorry, you're making the choice. If you don't want to research this stuff, don't want to look into it, just want to bury your head in sand and be a yellow hat, then I'm sorry. You've chosen stupidity.
But you know what? You have to be real sure of yourself. When I was a kid growing up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, we were taught, my country, right or wrong. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Lands where my father died. So, yes, it's good. Like Jimmy says, you have to educate yourself. But we will never stop being faithful to our nation. This is the only, like Ronald Reagan and John F. Kennedy said, this is man's last best hope for earth on man. Of man on earth. Think about it. From the beginning of the man leaving the swamps to today, where did we have an experiment on self-government? Now, there is a lot of cheating going on. There's a lot of corruption going on. There's a lot of cheating in the election. I know all that. There's trans and all the woke stuff. But still, from the beginning of mankind to today, from the leaving of the swamps until today, this is the greatest experiment that lifted man from utter sheer tyranny to where America can have a voice. I think that my descendants, whether they were Spanish or Aztec, didn't have a voice. You were just whacked. But in America, we have a voice, right or wrong. You know, and we're allowed to debate. In all the times of history, throughout the eons of mankind, people lived in serfdom. They had no voice in the sheer gutter poverty and tyranny. So this is why I love America, right or wrong. And I believe the right will win. Jimmy talked about that. We've already won. That's why he sleeps in peace. Well, I'm not like him. I think I'm still in the fight. Maybe because I don't know the things he knows. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's how I feel. But really quickly, Jimmy, remember when Trump said that he was going to use the 1954 Communist Act or something like that if Mandani got elected? He's also said things like, well, if Mandani doesn't respect the ICE or whatever, or let them do, then he will get arrested. I think he recently said that.
Right.
Do you think that Trump will actually do what he says? Because we've all been waiting for this moment. Now he won. Let's take out the 1954 Communist Act and get him out of here. Can he do that?
I think what Trump is trying to do, he says a lot of things. Okay. He says a lot of things. But what I think Trump wants, I think he wants the people to do the right thing. Because if he goes in and does the Communist Act or arrest him, then what's the media going to do? They're going to call Trump a dictator. They're going to blame him. They're going to call him all this stuff, and it'll now all be about a Trump. I think Trump brings out a lot of things so that people will, maybe we need to look at this, like the filibuster. Maybe we need to get rid of the filibuster.
Right.
So are there people in New York that is there a good judge there or a lawyer or whatever, and that they could enforce that Communist Act? Or they could, the National Guard could go in and arrest. I think that's what Trump's doing. I think he wants the people to he wants the people to fight for this country.
Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo.
Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead,
the
Jessica.
money point, Ruby. He hit the money point right there.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Thank you, because you just literally clarified something in my brain right now, because I was coming in with the angle of, well, he's the executive. He should be able to do these things whether they think he's a dictator or not. Like, who cares? He can do that. He's the president. He's the president, right? Now, when you said that, it brought me back to, like, the state should do it. The state of New York should be the ones talking about this.
What he's doing is illegal. It's completely illegal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hunter. He's
Right.
stealing people's homes. He's stealing their businesses for himself. It's completely illegal. It's basically like you've brought back the mob again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this
Now,
is Al Capone. That's exactly what this
Yeah.
person is.
Wow.
I was
now
about
when
to
we
say
talk,
something inappropriate, but I stopped myself to say no.
when we talk about information coming out from unexpected places, that's what Trump wants, because he doesn't want the media to just make it all about him. He wants the people to fight for everything. That's why I believe with the Epstein stuff that y'all talked a little bit about earlier, that's why I think the revelation of that will not come from Washington.
Oh, okay. So what would be your
New York
where
has
do you
the
think it'll
files.
come from?
We know New York has it.
Or
Yeah.
or local reporters.
And so maybe UK, because what did Charles just do to Andrew? He just stripped his princeship.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So now he has no backing legally as a royal. He is a regular citizen now.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Hey, Jimmy.
I think this Epstein stuff ain't over. And I know, and this is what I want people to remember. They faked the Russian collusion shit on Trump.
Yes. Yes.
This Epstein stuff that Trump is talking about, that's a hoax. That's the stuff they made up and want to have it go public. It's bullshit. That's why Trump calls it a hoax.
Yeah. So there's so much on that going on right now. So you know about the pipe bomb, right? Pipe bombers.
Yes.
So they actually know the pipe bombers were police.
Yes. Capitol
And they have
Police.
images of them. They've released the images of
Yes.
the
Yep.
cops coming up out of their vehicle and setting the bomb. And
Yep.
one of them is a female.
Yep.
And they were able to identify who she is. And
Yep.
nobody is investigated or talked to her yet at all from the FBI.
And after she left the Capitol Police, she went to work with the CIA.
Yep.
What?
Yep. And then here's something else. Like, okay, so you guys know that what's going on BBC, right? I'm assuming with the it's $1 billion lawsuit.
Oh yeah,
Trump?
yeah.
Because they showed that they took his speech and they cut it up to make him say stuff he wasn't. Now,
Yeah.
I just want to point this out. When I look at that and you see the $1 billion, right? That seems
Right.
pretty outrageous. You know what I think that is? I think that's Trump throwing it in everyone's face. Because who else got a $1 billion possible lawsuit against him? What he did, he's supposedly supposed to pay. That's impossible.
What was that?
Alex Jones.
Oh.
So you ever think about that? They
Right.
charged
Right.
him a $1 billion, and now what's happening? BBC is getting $1 billion.
That's interesting.
An eye for an
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah, an eye for an eye.
Hey, you know what? I want to build on what Jimmy said about the people. Jimmy, you're right. You're right. I was on the radio today this week with the Republican talk show and conservative talk show in my town, and we were talking about the Nigeria Christians. And I also called another Christian site, and we were talking, Carm, I don't know if anybody's familiar with them, but we were talking about how Trump is talking about going into Nigeria.
Yes.
And I mentioned, I'm not a soldier. I never served in the army. I was a Jehovah's Witness and everything, and I didn't get a chance to serve. But I thought that if the Christians, and I mentioned this, and I got a lot of good run from conservative circles, if Christians like the Catholic Church, the Jehovah's Witness, the Baptists would do their job, if the Mormons would speak about it, if the Church of England would speak about the Christians being slaughtered in Africa, then maybe Trump wouldn't have to open his mouth about it. If Christians would do their job. And that's what I think what Jimmy's talking about. People have to do the work. If you see a criminal DA in your community, maybe you have to do something about it. Why does it always have to be Trump?
Yeah. You know what's funny? You say that. So I started going to a normal church like a couple weeks ago. Okay. And woke, what you just talked about, he just talked about. And he's been talking about. And I'm finding that your Christian normal churches, like I guess you call them non-dominational, I guess is what you call them. They talk like we do.
Right.
And I was shocked because that wasn't what I was expecting, because I mean, what I came from versus what I was seeing there is so different, and I think that's a really good point, because the minister, he said the exact same thing that you did, that it's a shame that they don't, and there are so many churches that don't, and he name dropped our old church.
What?
And I went, I like this guy.
Oh wow,
I said,
that's great.
this is gonna be my new friend.
That's a great story.
Yeah, and then okay, sorry to steal this from the moment here, but another thing that he talked about is they explain scripture and the background, the words and what it means and stuff, and he actually gave verses that were contradictory, and he name dropped that certain church too, and said this is their doctrines, this is the things they changed, and I was like, this is really strange to me, because that group has not really been mentioned, but I'm finding out from Christians that old group is being talked about a lot in the church circles.
Right. Yep. You know
So
that.
you, me, you, and you, we caused that.
Exactly, because it's becoming more. We're spreading awareness, so now more people is exposed. And you know what's interesting too, and it kind of it raised almost like a yellow flag. I'm not gonna say a red flag, but it was a yellow flag for me, because the Orthodox church that I go to, they go by ethnic groups. Now it just so happens that the closest one to me is Ukrainian. So I've been going to this Ukrainian Orthodox church for about 2 years now. And then when the whole Ukraine stuff started, I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like I almost had a problem with it, but then I was like, you know what? I shouldn't be like that. It doesn't matter what ethnic group, you're going for God, right? But then recently they made an announcement about what you said earlier, Beau, about Ukraine, right? That recent development, and they're going through it. And so there was an announcement there made about that. Like, we should pray for Ukraine. They have family there. I get it. But when they mentioned the whole Ukraine situation, and they mentioned like the fundraising or prayers or whatever, it feels like to me like it was in support of that, because they are Ukraine. Like, that's obvious, right? But for me, it was kind of like a yellow flag, because I'm like, why are we in support of that, right? Like, should we not be maybe not neutral, but kind of like separated from it? You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So sorry, Ruby. I'm just really curious. Do they say anything about the dead Russian Christians at that church?
That's the thing. I have not heard anything about the other side, and that has never really come up. You know what I'm saying? Like the political side of it. No, it's always been like, pray for those Christians, right? That's what any Christian would say. Pray for those Christians in Nigeria. Yeah. Pray for the ones in Ukraine. So when they made that announcement, I was like, what? Like, why are we fundraising, or like, what is that actually for? What do you mean when you say we're talking about Ukraine? Because this whole Ukraine situation is so deep state, right? And I wouldn't know this if it wasn't for you guys, right? So that happened last Sunday, and I intend on asking about that further. I'm going to inquire a little bit further, because that really, yeah.
You know what I'm sitting here thinking? Y'all know how I feel about religious organizations anyway, and that most of them are being used to raise money for the deep state operations around the world. These churches, in my opinion, they may think they're doing the right thing, like the soldiers that went to war. And then they collect all this money and send it over somewhere, and it doesn't go where it needs to go. And this is a playbook that's not just on Ukraine. Think about your American Cancer Societies, your Red Cross, your In the Arms of an Angel, those videos with a dog locked up. So they play on people's emotion in many different areas, religion included, to get money from the people who think they're doing good, and then they just take the money and do whatever the fuck they want to with it. Sorry.
That's what nonprofits are.
Well, I do want to make a small clarification, because I don't think it's any malicious. I'm not saying like it's
Ask them this when you talk to them. Ask them this: hey, this money you raise,
right.
where are you sending it to, and will you be able to give us a receipt showing what the money was spent on? If
exactly.
they balk at that, you might
well,
want to question.
that's why I said a yellow flag, because it's not so much a red one right now. But that's why I was kind of like, I think I need to ask a few more questions, because I do believe what you said, Jimmy, that they probably do want to do the right thing, and and it is an ethnic group. The majority of the people that go to that church are Ukrainian, so I get that. But
I get it.
So that's one thing that I was like, I don't know if I like that.
I always see corruption. When you wake up and you start noticing it, you can see it in everything. It's kind of frustrating sometimes.
I have friends that are pastors in non-denominational churches, and I go there and I love them. But I go to the biggest church of all time because I live across the street and I'm Mexican American, so I can't. And it's the Catholic Church, and it's real hard for me to avoid it because I love them. I would give my life for them. But what Jimmy said is true. There's a lot of bad politics, and so I could never be a Catholic, even though I was born Catholic and my parents became Jehovah's Witnesses. But I love them. But what Jimmy is saying true. What are you doing with this money? So when you're woke to that, you can't help but see it. For example, when you hear the Pope is talking about all this stuff, and he's talking about the United States being mean to the immigrants, but he doesn't say nothing about migration replacement. He doesn't say nothing about Nigeria. So they're very selective in what they're doing.
Right. So question, guys, did you hear when Trump said that the tariffs were, or I don't know, maybe this is just coming from him, when he made this tweet and he said that we are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debts with those tariffs. And then he said a dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high income people, will be paid to everyone. What do you think that is?
Okay, so I want to tell everybody just pause on that right now, because the information that I listened to this morning, they're trying to figure out a way how to give that to the American people. Will it be straight to the bank account, or will it be something used on the taxes as, a deduction or something? They haven't figured that out yet. So just don't go around saying, oh, Trump's going to give us $2,000. I know what was said in the tweet. Again, some things are said for a reason, but just be patient, see how this plays out. Because,
But is that...
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Beau. Go ahead.
No. I'll go after you.
Well, I was just going to ask really quickly, is that not what happened in 2020 with the whole COVID?
No, there's a dividend.
Well, the whole thing with COVID, the reason that money went out is because the deep state was, they try to say it was Trump's to me. No. That was the deep state trying to get the people used to having some money coming in to force the whole idea of universal income.
Okay.
This is a dividend. This is dividend. Different.
Now, there is a possibility that with the money coming in like this, if it's true, it's possible people could get a dividend off of this, because I think it's Alaska. They actually the people of Alaska get a dividend from the oil sales.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so and other countries do it as well. So it's very possible that Trump could do this with the tariffs. But
that's what I was going to say. I wonder if the tariffs maybe, or some of these Doge things and these woke projects that they took and found all this, this fake money they weren't supposed to have for all these black projects. If he's taking all that and he's going, hey, look, all this woke, all this gay stuff, all this like trans this and all this stuff that they've been doing, this is your money and I'm giving it back to you. What they stole.
Yeah.
Because you never said that, hey, Nigeria needs to have a gay Sesame Street for
Yeah.
$200 billion or whatever ridiculous amount they were putting into that stuff. That's what I was kind of thinking they might go, because that would show the public that yes, we can barely pay bills now. A lot of people, because the economics situation is so out of control, inflation is insane. I think that he might do that, and then when they do that, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to start hitting the problem with the food industry, and then Obamacare. That way, we can start lowering prices, because we already know that here in Arizona, the prices of homes are so insane. It finally cracked, and now it's starting to go down. It went down like 20%. So we're starting to see what we've been wanting to see finally start to take place.
And I agree with that, Beau. And this is the problem that some folks have had is he's only been in office since January.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. They were expecting everything to change, like American psyche, instant gratification. They are expecting all this stuff to change right now.
Yeah,
but it doesn't work that way. And so he's got 3.5 more years to do what he needs to do. So that's why I say you just got to sit back and enjoy the ride and not react to just everything.
Let me throw this at you on the taxation. No taxation without representation. It's in our DNA. It's a moral question. It's a Christian question. It's an American question. Why should the children of the nation carry the burden that maybe the transaction privilege tax should be shouldered by a foreign nation? For example, in Arizona, I'm from Arizona, and I've been in business for over 30 years. The first thing I do when I go to work and buy an air conditioner, you know what's the first thing I pay? My transaction privilege tax. I pay tax. When I see somebody bring an air conditioner from Mexico, from China, they don't pay taxes. Every day since I was 24 years old, I pay the transaction privilege. This is what American businessmen do every day, every day, every day. Why should we, the children of the nation, be burdened? It's a Christian question. It's an American question. It's an honorable moral question. Shouldn't the ones who are having the privilege to be in the United States, to conduct business in this free market economy, shouldn't they be burdened instead of the children of the nation?
Yes. Yes.
Let me ask you guys this. When do you think America was conquered?
When they shot Kennedy.
Okay. Oh.
That's a really tough question. I really can't answer that, because I would say, I would personally say World War II.
Okay. Does anybody?
Oh, wait, Jimmy. What do you mean by conquered, though?
Okay. Our constitutional rights, our liberty, our freedoms, all that stuff.
Okay. So I would say Civil War.
Civil War. Okay. What's the chat think? Or does anybody think we've been conquered yet?
Oh, definitely. Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna have to give people a minute for them to type, guys.
I'm gonna give them a minute.
When did we become part of the British Bank?
Jimmy, those are good. Those three answers were good. Beau's, mine, and Ruby's were good.
They were good.
Yeah. John Marciano says after the War of 1812.
Or 1913 with the Fed.
Okay, so let me address John's thing real quick. I wouldn't say 1812 only because that was the creation of the second central bank, and Andrew Jackson destroyed that. So they tried. I'll give John that. They tried in 1812.
Clooney says, I think Woodrow Wilson era.
There you go. Clooney's right. 1913. That's when America was conquered officially. Because then that's when you had the creation of the income tax, the creation of the IRS, the creation of the Rockefeller foundations, and them taking over our food industries and our medical industries. So
that reminds me of a date of 1914.
Yeah, well, then you had the War of 1914 because they had to have chaos and everything to cover up what the hell what they were doing. But that's why they did it.
Yes, economically and physically, they did conquer us, Jimmy. Touche, you are right. But America, since I was born, I've always seen America as a spirit, not as a physical entity. We see And so a spiritual man understands America is a spiritual nation. It's an idea that we live for.
Right.
And so I don't think they've conquered us until they shoot us, until they kill us. You know, from my
Let me
dad.
ask. Let me push back. Let me push back on that a little bit. How much taxes do you pay?
Oh man, every week on my withholding, and then at the end of the year, thousands and thousands.
You've been conquered already.
Yeah,
exactly. But you said America.
But I still have a dream, Jimmy.
I know. We're all subjected to it because, you know, this is what they've done. They've taken over our liberties, our freedoms, our right to, you know, property, things like that.
I would agree with that 100%. I mean, we fought them because raising the price of tea to
Damn,
what?
Jimmy.
Yeah. So
and now, I wish we could go back to paying for tea. Let's
yeah,
just be honest.
exactly. So, you know, a lot of people think, oh, well, all this chaos and everything is Trump's fault, but they don't go back in history to find out why in the world are we here? What happened?
But even way before that, which is why I said Civil War, was because that was in-house, and because of that whole situation, the states lost even more power than anything.
I agree with what you're saying. The only thing I'll say, it wasn't a complete takeover because we did not have a central bank at that time.
Right. I mean, I'm saying that this was even before that. Now think of it, if that would have never happened, states would have been even stronger than that. We would have had more power. So maybe that would have never even happened when it did happen. You see what I'm saying?
So if we did
banks took over, that's when we were conquered. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, because, you know, who runs the banks? Historically, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds.
BlackRock.
Yeah, but that would have never. What I'm trying to say is that would have never happened if we had more power in the states. But because we were already dismantled and power taken already, it was easier for them to come in and swoop in.
Well, you're exactly right, Ruby, because that's what happened in 1871 with the Act of 1871. Just a few years after the end of the Civil War, they created us as a corporation, which set the precedent for the creation of the Federal Reserve.
Exactly. It's like they were paving the road for that to be allowed in the future.
So they were winning battles. Let's go war jargon. The deep state won a battle in the Civil War. They won a battle in 1871. They conquered us in 1913.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. I would agree with that time frame more because I will always be faithful to Lincoln. I mean, if I was getting my ass whipped by a white slave owner, Master Lincoln Emancipation Proclamation doesn't sound like a deep state conspiracy theory to me. It sounds like Master Lincoln kicks ass. So I love Lincoln. So, but you know what? Emancipation Proclamation had to. There were great crimes being committed against humanity, and he had to do it. The Second Amendment, for example, in the Constitution, there is provisions in the Constitution when the state becomes too tyrannical, the individual citizen has a right to speak up.
Right.
And so Lincoln, in all of his errors, maybe original sin, he did pay for it with his blood. So to me, I think he was of divine providence. Lincoln, to me, is of divine providence to this nation. And so I would go with the 1913 date that Jimmy is saying, not the 1865.
You're a big fan of Lincoln?
Man, you see, you got to look at the color of my skin. I'm a worker.
No, I mean, literally, I'm being serious. Like, you're a big fan of him, right?
Yes, I love Lincoln.
Like, right? Okay. You want to hear something really interesting?
Are you going to hurt my feelings?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what we do on here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, who killed him?
John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah, guess who my great ancestor is?
Oh Lord.
I don't know.
I'm literally John Wilkes Booth's like descendant.
Wow. Yeah, national treasure here. I knew it.
Yeah. So I think I've shown this to Jimmy. If you look at John Wilkes Booth, sorry, I get off subject. When you talk about it, it was like, oh my gosh, it's jumped my head. If you look at him and you look at my youngest brother and you put them together, they look identical.
Oh wow!
So
but
much so that for a stupid stunt, I put my brother and him together, and I said some stupid thing about how John Wilkes Booth was a time traveler.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been watching a lot of movies like that. But hold on, wasn't he just another prop, another
He was an
patsy,
actor,
another?
and he worked for the state. Did that assassination for.
But that's a whole isn't that a whole conspiracy in itself that it wasn't really him?
There's
No, the conspiracy is
I heard it's always been John Wilkes
the
Booth.
body that they had of his isn't really his body, and there's been evidence, and I'm not super like backing this or saying it's true or not, but there's a lot of suspicious that the body they had of John Wilkes Booth really wasn't John Wilkes Booth's body, and it was a double.
Yep, they've been playing this game for so long.
But I'm just going to tell you, I don't have any inside information. I don't know if it's true or not. I couldn't tell you anything more than that.
Hey, it's a small world. You know, the first president of Mexico is named Maria Morelos, Jose Maria Morelos, and my grandmother is Maria Morelos. She's from that family, and in Morelia, Michoacan, in Mexico, and so that's where the family I come from. My grandparents, they came here because they lost all their money way back in the. And back then in Mexico, in the old days, in the old country, there was only one inheritance. The rest of the children got nothing. So the family would break up. The oldest, the inheritant, would kill off the other brothers and all the siblings. And so that's why my parents came up here. My grandparents came here, you know, to escape.
That would definitely make Thanksgiving and holiday season awkward.
You got a new name, Beau.
Yeah.
You got a new name?
Yeah. What did John Wilkes Booth yell after he shot Lincoln?
I don't know.
Yeah, he yelled traitors or tyrants, death to tyrants or something. Yeah. Yeah, he yelled a famous line. I just escaped my memory.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
Death to tyrants, I believe. Wasn't it a quote of Shakespeare? I think he was quoting Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I wouldn't surprise me. I mean, based on what I've heard and stuff, and like I said, like he was mental.
Yeah. But
he was really into like being. He was a movie star. I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah. And then that's when old Johnny Depp came out during 2016 election season and was saying, when was the last time an actor killed a president?
Oh my gosh, here we go.
But when Lincoln talks to Ulysses S. Grant, Ruby, I think it will enamor you to Lincoln, because think about it. You talk about state rights and you're very passionate about state rights.
Yes.
And Lincoln was too. Because think of all the Confederate soldiers, and Lincoln died for them too. It was a beautiful thing. He says there will be no hangings. It was a complete and total amnesty of the greatest insurrection we had in American history. So there goes the exceptional man that was Lincoln, to forgive an entire nation. He says, I don't care if they leave the country, but there will be no hangings. And then
I know that, Jesse, and I love that. Like when you bring that up. But the whole point of it was an overreach of power from the federal government to the states, and it was Abraham Lincoln who did that.
Oh, so you're against the federal clause? I don't understand. The supremacy clause?
Because of that grew, in my opinion, right? Big government, the continuous overreach of power by undermining the states.
That's been the debate since the inception of the Federalist Papers, since before the drawing of the Constitution. That debate is ongoing, and it'll go on to the day we die. So that'll have to go to the courts, every single argument. But what we're arguing here is the supremacy clause. The federal government is supreme. That's why we are the United States. We are under a federal system.
That's why he also enacted or suspended habeas corpus and the Posse Comitatus Act. So it was allowing the federal government to do what they needed to do. Kind of like what Trump's going to end up doing with the National Guard in these other cities.
Right.
Because if a state is not protecting its citizens, then the federal government has the constitutional right to come in and protect those citizens.
Under the supremacy clause.
Correct. So were those southern states treating their citizens fairly. Were they?
No.
They weren't.
Okay.
Because I mean, obviously, slaves were second-class citizens, and then once to the point we say we don't expose slavery anymore, and then they continue doing it, then that cause comes into effect.
Correct. And because of what Lincoln did, those people that wanted big government didn't like it, so then they had to create the KKK to go do what they were going to do and get rid of some people and create chaos and fear.
That's the start of the Democrat Party.
Correct.
The militant wing of the Democrat Party.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to read a little bit more about that and see if I can amend my own opinion on that, because to me it felt like that overreach, that whole thing is the exact same thing that they were running from. So why would you create that where the feds can tell a state, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, and that is more powerful than the state itself? Like, that to me is like, no, we should be united, but you shouldn't be telling other states what to do. Like, that's I don't know.
One of the biggest jobs of the federal government is to protect its citizens. That's one of the main purposes. And if a state is not protecting its citizens, then the federal government has the right, the constitutional right, and the duty to protect those citizens.
Right, but they weren't citizens, they were slaves, right? So in that context, it was a whole, to dismantle that, they had to create everything that already happened, and then the Civil War happened, is what I'm saying. So when you talk about it in those types of terms, we're not talking about citizens, because they weren't citizens. Just like how we talk about illegal immigrants today, they're not citizens. So though it doesn't apply to them. So even though fundamentally,
Can I push back on that?
Yes.
So okay, so I totally understand what you're saying, and the most of the economic wealth was in the South, our industries, our weapons, all that kind of stuff, right? That's where our power was. Okay, but the mass people, the more of the population was obviously not the South.
Right.
But who was the president? Who was the elected president?
Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, so Abraham Lincoln then gave citizenship to. He was the we elected him. The people elected him, right? So then what happens?
The South
He gives slaves, because his belief in the Bible that they're human beings, and gives them rights like any other American citizen. The corporate industry of the South, which is the rich aristocrats, don't like that. They are the ones that push for the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even Lincoln himself he wasn't like, I don't think he was pro or against it. He was doing it in like a bigger picture type of thing. Like, I remember reading something like he wasn't against it, but he wasn't for it either.
No, his nickname was the rail splitter. Everybody knew it. It's like Obama saying that he's pro-marriage. Come on. We all know he's not. Lincoln was the rail splitter. Everybody knew it. It was just
I think once you dig a little bit more on the history of the Civil War stuff, you'll find that the slavery issue was not the main issue for the war.
Right.
Yes.
So there was other things.
But we knew he had it in his pocket.
Correct.
He held that card in his pocket, and at the opportune moment, he took it.
Right.
The Emancipation Proclamation. But Ruby, you're what makes America great. That doubt that you have, that rugged individualism, that state rights thing, that's what makes America great. So it is an important debate.
Yeah. Thank you. Welcome to the stage, Dallas. How you doing?
Hey, Dallas.
Hi, y'all talk about so much about history, and about you a relative to John Wilkes Booth. You are.
Yeah.
I changed his name.
Well, I think
I didn't even realize you did that. I just realized that.
You finally noticed it, because I told you earlier. I changed
When he
his
said
name.
that, I didn't even know it, 'cause the camera is so bright in my face. That's why my eyes are squinting. I didn't even really see it, and then it's good. Thank you. That's good.
Go ahead, Dallas. I'm sorry.
What does it say?
Beau Booth.
Oh my God.
when you're speaking about y'all speak about Civil War, about Abraham Lincoln. Well, I got my family history. It's go back 5 generations. I think my twice great grandfather. It would be my grandma's grandfather. He was a Civil War vet who served in the Confederate Army with General Lee.
Wow.
Don't tell me you're a descendant of Lee Harvey Oswald from Dallas.
He served with that's who he served, and I were about Lincoln. He is the one who he gave the Gettysburg Address,
right?
Which is close to my native home. It is.
That's awesome.
Wow,
history,
Dallas, that's great. I changed your name, Dallas. You're now Dallas Lee.
Sorry, Dallas.
Oh man, Dallas, that's great. I really wish, good or bad, I wish I had that type of family history.
Have you done an ancestry thing?
Well, I saw it on family history, and that's how I knew.
Wow.
Do you ever have that blood of the Confederate blood?
Well,
you ever feel like eating fried chicken?
I do. It's because of my grandma being from Greenville, North Carolina.
Oh. That's where. That's where Forrest Gump is from.
Where?
No, that's Greenbow, Alabama.
Oh, sorry.
Greenbow, Alabama.
All you white guys look alike to me.
Oh my God.
I wish I had that type of family history. I love American history. I love national truth.
Rudy, you have native blood.
From where? Because when I look
Quinn
at my
the
family
Eskimo?
tree,
Quinn the Eskimo?
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
Oh, it's a rock song from the 60s.
Oh no, you already know me. I don't know nothing. But oh my God, that really almost made me start tearing. You guys are gonna give me the giggles. So one more thing I wanted to show you, Jimmy. Did you see this?
Yes.
Did you see the Ozempic?
Yeah.
Let's play
that
this.
That was all staged. Every bit of it.
Jobs.
I'm gonna play it.
You okay? Gordon, you okay? Yeah.
Press out. Press. We're going. Thank you, press. Cameras, we're done with you. Cameras.
And creating high-value jobs.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was basically them, slashing the prices on Ozempic and saying how bad Ozempic was. And then you have the maker of Ozempic faint like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was full of comms right there. That was all staged.
Well, what does it mean?
What are comms?
Comms are simple ways of getting information out to the public or, notifying people of things that could possibly be happening. Like we talked about dog comms. If you see dog comms, that means within about a week or two, somebody's going to die. Wow. So this comm would be, see, look, the big pharma is dying is basically the message to take away from that. You have the guy pass out like that. They're talking about slashing the prices, talking about how bad big pharma is. And then you have the Ozempic guy faint.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all basically to say big pharma is dying.
Now, a spiritual man would
in my opinion, take it for what it's worth.
No, it's good. It's good. But could a spiritual man see karma?
You could see that too. If he really had an episode.
Wow. I don't know. I'm listening to everything. I have no clue. I just
remember, guys, we're watching a movie.
Yep.
Central casting.
Yeah, but did you see the way RFK quickly walked away? So
they are saying that he walked away to go get a pillow or something for his head. He just didn't leave the scene.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen. If the patient goes down like that, what if he's having like a seizure? You don't want him bashing his head.
That's what he did. But
Yeah, that's a normal procedure.
the media was saying, "Oh, look at RFK run off and hide." That's what they went with.
No. Yeah. I mean,
why do they hate RFK so much?
Because
This
he's
guy,
a threat to
Big Pharma.
he's a threat to their system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They hate him because he was one of the first politicians or people out there to go against pharma and show that one of their vaccines was hurting kids.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
And he proved it in court, and then he got scientists and other people to back it up, and then he won in court.
Right.
So,
And then
who
the
could
top
be
of that stuff.
who could be against that? Who could be against that? Like taking mercury out of childhood vaccines. Who could be?
Exactly.
deep state. I mean, there's so many people who are for this. I mean, China, I'm sure they want our kids to be sick. I mean, the Democrats want our kids addicted to drugs. They want them to
Right.
be the sicker the population. I mean, think about you have these kids who are sick from these jabs. They grow up, they have to be on these medications. Now they're just a cash cow for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
And remember, oh, go ahead. Sorry, Beau. Go ahead.
And more importantly, this is one I really, really, really believe this is what this is for. They are an economic crisis to the family unit. When you have a sick kid like that, it puts so much of your finances and times away from the parents. I mean, think about that. Think about all these kids where the kids have Down syndrome or whatever disease that we're seeing now. It went from like what 1% to now 20%.
Yep.
Something outrageous.
Yep.
Now that means that the amount of care that the parents have to put into those special needs kids, that means they don't have time to be like us and distracted and talk about politics. They're trying to take care of that.
Exactly.
That's why they did that.
Yep. A depleted and weak populace is easier to take over.
No.
Yep.
Think about a good-hearted Christian, a good parent is never going to abandon their child. They're going to do everything they can. They're going to work their ass to the bone to take care and supply for those children, no matter what. I've seen parents that have disabled kids. I don't have any kids that are disabled, and I'm grateful because I see how hard it is on them. The cost, the time. I mean, imagine you want to go out just to get a babysitter, get a specialized babysitter just to take care of a special needs.
Yeah, you
It's
can.
outrageous. And then daycare. Yeah.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt. I would love to stay on here, but I didn't set up this evening, so I don't have the power cord to my phone right now. And my phone's down to 17%. So,
Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Jimmy, because I'm about to wrap it up. It's 11:30 right now, so we can give last thoughts. Go ahead, everybody.
Dallas, last thoughts.
Well, the one I was mentioning, it was Robert E. Lee that I was mentioning. So I didn't know it. Sometime I found that out, and I do have an interest in history. Some of us just do. We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Dallas.
And I agree that this mentioning deep into that detail about into that deep state and that Khazarian mafia or organization. It's just so much into detail. It's just been.
It's a lot to learn, Dallas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dallas.
Jesse?
Hey, good night. Thank you for having me on, Ruby, Jimmy, both, and happy Veterans Day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
Jesse.
you, Jesse, for joining. Go ahead, Beau.
Thank you, guys. And just so you guys all know, James Comey's scheduled for Virginia court case for his crimes January 5th, 2026.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and there's more subpoenas that have been going out too. So there's going to be
30.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. The Russian collusion thing is about to hit big too. So
wow, thank you so much.
Yeah, there's my last thought, guys. There's something happening every week. You're watching a cleanup operation. You're watching things be exposed. The people are being educated. You're seeing the deep state try to break up MAGA. That's what they're doing right now. That's why you see different influencers fighting with each other. But were they really on the MAGA side? That's the question you have to ask. So, but there's a lot more coming, and I look forward to getting back to you guys. Like I said, I may be able to jump on late next week, but if I'm not, I'll definitely be in Florida next week. So, yeah, I'll be in Florida next week, join the 82-degree weather. So
during the daytime, you better bring a coat for nighttime because it was freaking 46 degrees tonight.
Oh man, it's 39 here and I'm outside. I'm good.
I'm not leaving this house until the sun comes back.
I'm with Ruby. I'd be cold. Come on,
yes.
Yeah, y'all got that thin blood because you lived in Arizona and Florida.
I know.
Yeah.
But I love you guys. I appreciate you both. Thank you for stepping in. Y'all did a great job tonight. I appreciate it. And love everybody in the chat. And if I don't see you next week, I'll see you the following week.
For inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, Beau. We had a great time though. I loved it tonight. I had a great laugh. I loved all the information you presented. You explained things so well. So thank you so much for coming. I hope you're going to be here next Tuesday.
I will.
Okay, good. Yes. Okay. Thank you guys for joining in the chat. Thank you to Dallas, to Jesse, to Beau, to Jimmy. So Jimmy, good luck on your trip. Get there safe. You're taking a plane, right?
No, we're driving.
Oh, driving. Okay.
Yeah,
so
we got to take all of our gear for shark tooth hunting.
What?
Yeah, we shark tooth hunt.
What? Oh my God.
I have over 20,000 shark's teeth.
Wow, Jimmy, that's crazy.
So,
wow. Oh my
but
God.
But I'm at 9%, so I'm gonna go ahead and say bye so I don't get cut off.
Right. Okay,
love you guys.
Everybody have a great trip. Bye.
Trump, yeah, okay, bury him a legend, yeah, Trump, hey, okay, America's biggest blessing, free speech advocate, packing, never lacking it, I just bought another gun and ain't nobody taking it, gang, okay, the White House going crazy now, MAGA season, tell them liberals they can't break us down, it's up, they know we run it, best believe it now, about to paint the city red, please don't burn it down.